Peace, 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 y'all. Make sure this shit is right, man.
Oh my god.
What's going on? I ain't got nothing in the background right now. I'm about to find something. Did you say to call you Nay? You said to call you Nay, right? I actually have something good. I'm gonna just put we'll put that for right now. Put my regular. It won't let me put up nothing about Christ. It won't let me put up nothing religious. It will not let me put up nothing religious or nothing about Christ. I don't know why, y'all. I don't know why it won't let me put up what I'm trying to put up. But hold on. Give me 1 second. Oh, they let me put up Jesus Christ. Let me put up the black Jesus, so they say. And let me put that. I'm gonna leave that up there. I'm gonna just leave that up there. I'm gonna leave that up there, y'all. What's going on, y'all? I was supposed to come back on yesterday and do this and do the one on water, but I didn't want to just do it without all the information, having the information in front of me. All my videos I've been freestyling. When I say freestyling, I mean by the stuff that's in my mind, and I just pull it from my mind as I'm talking, and it just comes to me. But the one on water, I kind of wanted to have the actual literature and the studies, the case studies and the literature, so I could show y'all where to go. So that's why I didn't do it. I'm not doing it today. I was gonna do it yesterday, but something came up, so I didn't come back online. But we're gonna skip that until I got all the literature. But I found something. One of my companions sent me something that's crazy, y'all. Let me find it. Nah, it's not playing. Let me see why it's not playing.
Now, I want you to know I don't
Oh,
buy
I got it.
things. I don't pay for anything. Everything I do, I walk in the store, I steal everything. I shot that man because
Peace, 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 peace.
he laughed in my face and thought it was funny.
Peace,
That made
beloved.
me
Peace.
mad
What's
to
going
death.
on? Yeah, I came on early this time.
Yeah, I'm upside on
I
mine.
came on early.
Demons have you
I
convinced
be
that they
jumping
have the
around.
final
Whenever I
word
could get on, I get on.
this
And
earth, and they have these pigs that uphold it and make you believe. Hey, loves.
somebody just sent me something crazy. Oh, you at work? Everybody at work. That's what's up. Everybody get into their bag. As y'all should. As y'all should. As y'all should. Hold on, let me see who else is in here. Salute, 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 salute. What GP stand for, GP? I call you GP. What? Oh, the sun god right there? I mean, yeah, you right. It is the sun god. You absolutely right. You ain't say nothing wrong. That is the sun god. That is the sun god right there. Oh, your initials? All right, bet, 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 bet. Yeah, I know I said, I don't know if y'all was in the chat yesterday when I was up at 12 and I said I was going to come on later that night and do the one on water. I didn't want to do the one on the consciousness of water because it's actually a good one. But I wanted to save it till I could prepare all the information. Normally when I be up here, every time when I'm up here, I just do what I call freestyle. As I'm talking, I'm just pulling stuff fresh from my mind. But the one with the water is real important. So I didn't want to just freestyle that one. I wanted to have information, the information in front of me. So to show y'all the channels to go to, the books, and all of that, so y'all too can program water. Rashid Jamal. free Rashid Jamal, man. Rashad Jamal. Rashad Jamal. Yeah, Rashad. I like that brother, man. I like that brother. Powerful brother. I don't agree with everything he was saying. I think he, you know, but he's a powerful brother. He's a powerful brother. He's one of the ones. I was watching him. He got a lot of good stuff. He had a lot of good stuff, man. Free him, man. We have a lot of similar beliefs and similar backgrounds, and he was one of the ones that I watched. I liked him. I like Young Pharaoh. I like Rashid Jamal. Peace. Okay, Luke. Yeah, you can ask a question. Go ahead, Peter. Is that a Rasta Jesus? That was the one I could find. Y'all don't dig too deep into it. I just know Christ, the Christ one was melanated. I do know that. You know, hair like wool, dreads could be considered wool because you can't stick a comb through wool. So the locks could have been they could have been wool for all we know. I don't think it was straight. I know he didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes. I know that. What's the question, beloved? You could ask Peter. He was from Palestine. Well, that's what the I don't know if I don't know if Nazareth was considered Palestine. I'm not too sure, right? And when we get into the geographical stuff, we got to be careful because we know they rename things all the time. So I don't believe everything that's in there. I believe they do embellish and they change a lot of things. But if he was a Palestinian, then that would mean he would have olive skin. Then he would be an Arab, just like they say the Egyptians are Arabs, just like they say Moses was an Arab, right? I don't believe he was an Arab. He wasn't an Arab. He wasn't an Arab. I don't believe he was. I don't believe he was. I believe he looked similar to that. I believe he might have actually been a little darker. Maybe he didn't have dreadlocks, but I don't believe his hair was combed. I don't believe it hung down to his shoulders. I don't believe that was the case either. So what this is right here, yeah, but the Middle East, a very long time ago, the Middle East was melanated. A very long time ago, the Middle East was melanated. They don't teach us that, though. They don't teach us that. You could literally walk from Africa into the Middle East. It's not that far. The northern part of Africa is not that far from the Middle East, y'all. It's not that far. It's right there. It's not that far. But we're not gonna get into the race thing, man. Y'all, if y'all want him, if you see him as olive skin Arab, then he's an olive skin Arab, y'all. If that's what you want him to be. If you want him to be that, if that's what you see him as long as you live in them tenets, then more power to you. I'm telling you he wasn't. I'm telling you he was actually darker than that. But if that's what you believe, and you follow him, and you love him, and you move with those tenets in your heart, then that's okay. You see him as you see him. You call him as you call him. As long as you're a true believer and a follower of him. You understand? And you live your life to live like him. Then it's all right. It don't matter what you call them. They know when you say the name, they know what you're trying to say. When you pray and you visualize him standing over you or coming to rescue you to fight off them demons and spirits for you, you see him however you want to see him, as long as it works, whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. I'm not going to go back and forth. Believe what you believe, as long as you believe in him. Crispy ass, yo. I believe whatever you say. You the information. Did you mean informant? Was that what you mean? Peace and blessings, beloved. Hold on, that was a good one. Looked like they was about to say if he existed. What? Hold on, it moved too fast. All right, the chat's moving too fast, y'all. The chat's moving too fast. Can a man say he's from above? Can a man say he's from above? Yes, a man can say we all are from above. We all are from above. We all, just because I got this behind me, don't think that I'm hyper religious and that I'm gonna go by this right here and because I'm not religiously doctrinated by the Hebrew Israelites, by the Israelites, or by Christianity. I'm not overly doctrinated. I come from a standpoint of Christ consciousness. I understand that Christ is a consciousness. I understand that what they call the Israelites, that is actually older than the Hebrew language. It's older than the Hebrew language. It's older than that. I'm a very old soul, and I'm speaking to those old souls who are tired of reincarnating down here. And the person that they call Yeshua, Yahweh, Christ, Isa, whatever you call him, he was one of the master teachers who incarnated into flesh to pull more souls back to the oversoul, so we could find our way back to the all in all, the ineffable one, y'all. So when I get here, before you attack the religious part, before you attack the color of his skin, before you start to attack that, let me just tell you where I'm coming from. So you might see this and get a false representation or interpretations of who I am. Because I'm not going to defend what you're trying to get me to defend, whether he was black, whether he was the son of God, was he man. I'm not going to defend that. I'm not going to defend that. I'm not here to defend that. What I am here to defend is, in this name, that in this priesthood, this is a priesthood. It tells you this is a priesthood. To be a Christ one, to be anointed is a priesthood. You don't have to rub oil on your forehead to be anointed. This forehead is where your third eye consciousness is. This is where is it at? It dwells here. That star, the star of David, is your Merkaba or Makaba. That is your star tetrahedron. That is your starship. That is your force field shield of protection. That's your ship out of here, y'all. That's what it is. These, a lot of these religious people, brothers, and there's nothing wrong with religion. As long as you living by your tenets, so be it. Live by your tenets. Work your power how you work your power. You understand? But I don't defend religious doctrine. I use the Bible in some aspects. I use the Quran in some aspects because there is a lot of truth in there. There are a lot of truthful stories in there, but those stories in there have to be interpreted without religion. Because what happens is when people take a religious stance and they say, if you don't believe he's the son of God, then you ain't making it to heaven. Or they say faith is more powerful than acts, and acts is more powerful than faith. And then they say Yahweh, then they say Yahweh, then they say Jehovah, then they say, Allah, right? They start taking on all these names and saying this is the real God and all other gods is fake. When you start doing that, you put too much power into doctrine instead of power into renewing your soul and being Christ-like, to being filled with love and light. You start getting all the way into those doctrines and you get enmeshed into what's right and what's wrong. I feel you lose a lot of your power. I ain't here for that. I'm not here for that. I walk with Muslims, Christians, and Jews. I love you all. If you see Christ as white, okay. If you see him as the son and not God, okay. Whatever you see, as long as it's of righteousness and it's vibrating high and it comes from a standpoint of love and light, I could sit with you in your synagogue, in your mosque, in your church. I could sit with you as long as you vibrating high. I know why you believe what you believe. Religion is for new souls. A lot of new souls have to have religion. They have to have something to ground them and get them back to the all in all. Even if they believe that their God is jealous, their God got hands, and they believe that they're chosen people and all of that, it's in their soul. They might need that to make it back to the heaven. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? They might need that to go back to their proverbial heaven. Whether it's the one described in the New Testament, the one described in the Old Testament, wherever that is, that's where their soul is going. I'm from an older soul, y'all. I've been here 1,000 times already. So I've been here before a lot of those religions. So that's why in my younger years, in my studies and trying to find myself, because I went back through the triple stages of darkness. We all went back through the triple stages of darkness. When we reincarnated, we lost our minds and our past lives. So as I came out of my mother's womb and I was, doodling on myself and somebody had to feed me, I forgot all these things. I forgot how to use the bathroom. I forgot how to eat. I forgot who I was. I forgot. So as I journeyed back through these many religions and studying, and it started resonating in my soul, then after a while, when I became 33, like Christ. Well, I ain't gonna say like Christ, because people say that it never gave his age in the scripture, how old he was. But at 33 in 2012, when I had my spiritual awakening, it began to all make sense to me, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? It began to all make sense. And when you become high vibrational, you don't be wanting to go back and forth with religious doctrine. You don't, because it doesn't matter. It does, but it doesn't, if that makes any sense. It does, because the tenets of these religions, the good ones, the Abrahamic belief systems, right? Any of the three Abrahamic belief systems and all the offshoots and off branches, if the person goes by those tenets and live by those tenets, then that person is gonna, when they transition, when they make their transition, they're gonna be a little closer to the all in all, their proverbial heaven. They're gonna be a little closer to it as long as they live by those tenets. So it's okay to be those things. So why am I gonna go back and forth with somebody that I know is doing what is in their spirit to do? They were created to be a Muslim. They were created to be a Jew. They're created to be who they are. And their belief system is gonna bring them to the heaven that they read about. Because that's where their religion is gonna take them. My soul is bringing me back to the all in all. I don't want to go to heaven. I don't want to go to heaven. I've probably been in heaven before. I don't want to go there. I want to go back to the all in all. I want to go back to the all in all. And maybe when I go back to the all in all, I could be sent back down to bring more souls back to the source, not to heaven, to the source, back to the all in all, if that makes any sense. So you're not on a throne, because if you're with someone who's on a throne and you're worshiping someone who's on a throne, you're worshiping someone that has a seat. You're worshiping someone that has hands. You're worshiping someone that has bodies. You're worshiping someone that gets jealous. I'm just saying, y'all, this is what religion doctrine teach you, that they get jealous. They get jealous. I'm not going. I'm going back to the all in all, the ineffable one. This is what the Gnostic scriptures teach you. When it says ineffable, it means you couldn't even imagine or fathom, right? Because in order to be jealous, you have to become jealousy, right? In order to be jealous, you have to become jealousy. So how can the all in all become jealous? Only a God can be jealous. A God can be jealous. That means a God can be overtaken by the spirit of jealousy. And because you're not praising it, it can become jealous. The all in all is jealousy. The all in all is everything. The all in all overstands that you would worship other gods and other idols because you're a human. You know what humans do? Worship. That's what humans do. Whether we worship in the almighty dollar, whether we're worshiping gods, whether we're worshiping a basketball player, worshiping our parent, worshiping our mate, our wives, our husbands, you know what I mean? Humans worship. That's what we do. So the all in all overstands and understands that you're going to worship a whole bunch of shit. Only a God will get jealous because you're worshiping something else. That's what gods do. You know, and I'm not refuting what they say. I'm just telling you who I am, not what I believe, what I know. That's what a Gnostic is. You know, and ain't no belief in there. Ain't no belief. I believe. This is what I believe. No, it's what I know. I've been here too many times. So if I say that I'm a child of Israel, then I'm saying a birthright, if that makes any sense. But we're older than that. If I say that I'm an African American or FBA, I don't want to go whether we're FBAs or whether we're African Americans, because some of us are older than that. Black people are the chosen ones. White people are not. We're older than that. We might be the oldest on this physical planet, right? Whether we call it Tamat, Gia, Earth, we might be the oldest here because our skin color matches the dirt and the melanin from the sun and everything that comes from the sun. We are people of the sun. He is the sun. We may be people of the sun. So maybe this is the melanated people planet. I do kind of believe that, but that doesn't mean that the other races don't have old souls too. They may their physical bodies, right? When these DNA and these splices started going on, their physical bodies may be more suitable to another realm in reality. But some of those souls are the same souls as yours. They're melanated souls. Some of them are melanated souls. Some of them came from other places. We think we know. People sit and read these Bibles and they think they know everything, but they don't know nothing. Because if you know everything, then you know nothing. The more you know, the more you know nothing. The more you know, the more you know nothing. And for somebody to take a standpoint on something they read opposed to something that's in their spirit, it's a big difference. Do you understand what I'm saying, y'all? What is y'all talking about? I was born into Islam in the 5% nation, and I was born with an old soul. Oh boy, I had to learn things on my own and my own beliefs. Yes, 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 yeah. Have you seen the book, the Holy Quran, by Drew Ali, The Circle Seven? Yeah, I read a lot of Noble Drew Ali books. Noble Drew Ali was a high level teacher. Noble Drew Ali, there's a few of them, right? A few of them. They all. A lot of the teachers that was sent here. See, Noble Drew Ali, that human that we know to be that, his soul came down here to wake people up. Even Elijah Muhammad, Dr. Malachi York, all these master teachers, because they're master teachers. There's no ifs, ands, buts about that. They are all master teachers. You know what I'm saying? But I believe certain people come for certain times and certain things. Like I believe that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I think he had to come and he had to teach because we was lost. For the most part, we was lost. Noble Drew Ali had came a little before him. He was a follower of Noble Drew Ali, right? We all know that. Marcus Garvey had to come with what he came with, separation. So we had to be shown that we were special because we were already indoctrinated that we weren't nobody. We was nothing. We were slaves. We was nothing to idolize and nothing to worship. So a lot of those brothers had to come to show us that we were God. We were. They had to show us that. You know what I'm saying? But then sometimes you get stuck there. People get stuck there. That's how I look at it. People get stuck there. You know what I mean? It has to be in your soul to know that you come from the all in all. And all of us, even the religious pushers, right? There comes a time when you read these books and you read these doctrines and you be like, but this don't make sense to me. And people say, well, you don't understand the mind of God, but then they'll turn around and tell you the mind of God. They say, oh, well, we don't know the mind of God, but they'll turn around and tell you the mind of God. Well, God got jealous because of this. You're telling me God got jealous because of something you read in the book. How could somebody ever wrote something in a book and be 1,000% accurate that this is the mind of God? All you have to do is pay attention to nature. Pay attention to nature and everything around. Pay attention to our system, right? Right here in America. Pay attention to our system, y'all. Do Donald Trump, I know y'all don't like him, but I'm just saying, I'm just using him as an example, right? Does Donald Trump know what's going on in your neighborhood? When you call the police, does Donald Trump come? No, right? When you call the police, did the chief of police come? No. Do the CIA come? No. Who comes? A regular NYPD officer. That's who comes. The lowest of the lowest. When you say something is wrong, they send the lowest of the lowest. Now, if they find out that it was a homicide, right? Then they send the detectives. Somebody comes who's a step up, right? If it's a mass shooting, then you might get the chief of police and then the mayor comes, right? Now, Donald Trump may have heard what happened because, if it's something that makes national news, he's a New Yorker. He might watch the New York news because he's from New York, right? But does he come and intervene? No. It's not his job. That's not what he do. Most of the things that's going on over there, he ain't even paying attention to because he's busy being the president and worrying about foreign policies and bigger things that's going on. So what I'm saying is, even in our existence here, there's a system. As above, so below. There's a system. This system we have with kings and queens and presidents and vice presidents and the congressmen and all of these CIA, all these different branches, right? This is the exact same thing that goes on in the galactic, the galactic council or them galactic tribunals. The same thing that goes on in these courtrooms goes on in these galactic tribunals. Physical. Our physical existence and a higher physical existence in other realms and realities, right? And then above all of that, then you have, if you believe that there's a God and a heaven and all that, then you have in spirit. So everything is a reflection of everything. So if you can't call Donald Trump directly because somebody broke into your house, if he's not going to handle that, why you think the Most High, not the Most High, the all in all, the ineffable one, the source, why would you think that particular life force would come to help that particular situation? There's other shit that's there for that. And what happens is people tend to take the police chief as the chief of everything. Oh, he's the chief because the police chief handles everything that happens in your particular district. But there's ones above that. Right? The only time the all in all would get involved is when you shed all of the other religious doctrine, when you shed it all and you understand that you are the all in all. That's me. That's me. I am it and it is me. That's when it comes and works. And it doesn't personally come as a person, is what I'm trying to say. Because whatever the problem is the all in all. Right? Do y'all get what I'm saying? If somebody broke into your house, just listen to the analogy I'm giving, right? And you call a regular cop, right? The president, who's the highest authority of the land, he don't know nothing about that. Only the cop knows. And above the cop is a sergeant, a lieutenant. Then you have the police chief, right? Whatever happens in your house is going to be a regular cop. Now, if it's a horrendous crime, like, 8 children get unalived or you unalive 30 people, then now it becomes a press conference and now the chief of police comes. And the president may hear about it, but he doesn't come. There's a pecking order in the spiritual realms. Most of these religious doctrines, they fell in love with the police chief. They never made it outside the precinct. They never made it outside of the precinct. They never made it to the CIA. They never made it to the NSA. They never made it to a congressman. They never got to put their ailments at the feet of a congressman. Never mind the president. So when you vibrate high, when you've been here 100 million thousand times and you see people with their religious doctrine, you see they're stuck in that mind frame of the precinct. I go directly to the all in all. The only reason why I use this name, because he was the first to come, not the first, but the first that we know, the national one that we know, because others have come. And some of the stories they say they borrowed from other people to glorify him. Those are just examples of a priesthood. Christ is a consciousness. It is a priesthood. It is a consciousness of saying that you are God through you. Go within yourself and there is the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is within you because you are the all in all. You the ineffable one. You don't have to pray to nothing and put no altars, nothing at the feet of an altar because God is in you. You are God. The person breaking into your house is God. Your house is God. Your breath is God. Your thoughts is God. Everything is the all in all. I'm saying God for a lack of a better term, but I don't like to use the term God because there's thousands of gods. The all in all. The source, the force. You watch Star Wars when they say the force is everything. Everything is the force. So how could that force get upset at itself for being itself? You understand? You don't get upset with your baby. If you give your baby the remote control and your little 4-month-old or 8-month-old throw the remote control and break it, you don't get mad. You knew it was gonna break it. If you give it a cup of juice and you give the little infant a cup of juice and it spilled the juice all over your expensive bed sheets, you don't get mad because you knew they was gonna spill it over the bed sheets. You understand? The only person that gets mad is a new parent. A new parent to get mad. Like, well, why did you give it to the baby anyway? So the new parent would be like, this kid keep throwing everything and breaking everything. The new parent don't have no patience. It don't have no patience. It wasn't ready to even have a baby because it don't have no patience. And these is a lot of these guys that unalive people for not believing. These guys that say, I'm gonna come back for you. Or my hand, God hand is on me. Yeah, that is a God. That's God. It's not the all in all though. And this is why a lot of them don't have no power, y'all. This is why a lot of them can't move spirit. This is why a lot of them can't cast out demons. This is why a lot of them can't even control their home and their own personal universe. But then they get on the pulpit or get on YouTube and get on all these places and tell you that their God is the right God and their power is the right power. But the three major Abrahamic religious systems are the systems who unalive more people on the face of this planet for the sake of their God. Each and every one of these civilizations, three Abrahamic religious cults have had civilizations that were founded on the laws of their books. And none of these civilizations did anything great. None of these civilizations have any communication with the Galactic Council. None of these civilizations spoke to any aliens, Anunnakis, any from Star Series. You know why? Because none of them are going to come down here. None of them are going to speak to these people because they know that these people have a religious doctrine that is following a God, a he God. And when people follow a he God, not a real deity, then they're going to act like they're deity. So they're going to unalive you if you don't follow their tenets. They're going to get upset if you don't do what they're doing because they're just like their father. Do y'all understand? So this is why we ain't never met no ETs. They're leaving us down here until we figure out that we are a galactic collective consciousness, that we are bigger than this planet, that we is bigger than this body. They're not going to come down here until we figure that out. And that's why they sit back and like, they're babies. Let the babies do what the babies do. We just not going to let them blow up the planet with no nuclear attack. We ain't going to let them blow up the planet with no nuclear attack. They ain't ready yet. They ain't even vibrating high enough to get rid of the reptilians that are chained in the center of the earth. They don't even know about the fourth dimensional beings. They don't know about none of this stuff. So why are we gonna go down there and intervene? If we go down there, they're gonna worship us. If they land on the White House lawn right now, we gonna worship them. I'm telling you, especially the three Abrahamic, the Muslims, the Christians, and the Jews, they're gonna be the first ones to run and worship because they have a spirit of worship. They're so far from the all in all and the source that they need something to worship. They're going to be the first to go worship. That's why we ain't seen them yet. They know we're not ready. They know we're not ready. You know who's ready? The ones who are not going to marvel at their technology, right? You know why? I'm not going to if something landed right in front of me right now, right? Let's say a spaceship landed right on my lawn right now, right? You know why I'm not going to bow down to that entity? Because I'm going to say, he said, yeah, I'm your God. I'm going to be like, well, you may have created this flesh. You may have made this body, but I know you didn't make the soul. So you're not my God. He'll be like, well, look, I got all this technology. Look at all these things I could do. But I'm going to be like, you needed a spaceship. Why you need a spaceship? I don't need a spaceship. If I vibrate high enough, I can move in and out of time, space, and matter. I know that I have that. I have a Macabre. I have a starship, a star tetrahedron within me. And if I align my chakras and I vibrate high, I could go to Mars right now and come back without a spaceship. So if you have a spaceship, I know you're not a guy. I know you ain't the all in all because the all in all is within me. I know you're not that, but I know you need a spaceship. So I know you still a baby too. You might got me by 1,000,000 years. You might got us by 1,000,000 years, technologically, but you still need a spaceship. I'm just saying. Y'all. Maybe he did speak Hebrew. He might have spoke Hebrew, Aramaic. Maybe he was. Y'all. I'm not here to dispute that. I don't want to get into religion and dialect and skin color and all that. I'm getting into spirit. I'm getting into oversouls. I'm speaking to the old souls who are tired of reincarnating back down here into this mess, man. You know what I mean? That's who I'm speaking to. Those who are stuck on what race he was, or what language he spake, or what religion he was, and all these big name gods and all of that. I ain't speaking to y'all. Y'all just want to go back and forth. Y'all the babies when it don't matter what he spoke. Cause if the aliens land here tomorrow, y'all gonna be the ones that's worshiping, cause y'all the ones that are looking for something outside of yourself. And I'm not saying that like don't live righteousness, don't fast, don't pray, don't meditate, just live lawless. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Because the highest vibration down here, the highest vibration down here is love and light. Because it goes against matter. So the only way you can control matter and manipulate time, space, and matter while you're in this physical body is if you vibrate high. And the highest vibrations down here is love and light. So you have to vibrate high in order to separate yourself from this physical matter. I ain't gonna be doing this every day, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Subscribe now. Because when y'all start logging on here, we gonna get some emails and we gonna figure out another way to do this. Because what I got for y'all, I'm being real. I'm not gonna be a Rashad Jamal. I'm not trying to be a Dr. Malachi York. I'm not trying to. I know what I got to give. If what I'm saying is true, I know they ain't gonna let me stay up here and say what I really got to say. Because there's a lot more than what I be saying. A whole lot more than what I be saying. But it's gonna be for private and for those who are vibrating in that frequency. For my soul group, my monad, whatever you want to call it, the children, the real children of Israel, if that's what you want to call it, right? The real chosen ones, God's chosen people, if for lack of a better term. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna keep doing it up here because they not gonna allow it up here, y'all. And the thing that separates me from a lot of the other ones is that I ain't even gonna say that. How about that? Because they would have just said what I was about to say. That's what separates me. I know who I am. And I know, and y'all should know who y'all is. And I want to teach protection. That's the difference. I'm gonna say that. The difference between me and any other person that been up here is I'm not here to tell you what I know. If we know that is a conspiracy, if we know that this is the devil's planet, if we know we have chakras, if we know we're not supposed to be eating meat, if we know we're supposed to vibrate high with love and light, if we know all of these things, the difference between what I'm bringing to the table and I believe everybody else, I could say everybody else, brought to the table is, I'm here to show you how to have protection. While you're down here, while you're doing what you do. I'm just showing you how to have a spiritual eye. I'm just showing you how to move spirit to protect yourself, to guard your force field shield of protection as you activate your chakras and align your chakras and activate your Macabre, your star tetrahedron, which is your starship. I show you how to stop the bullets. I show you how to do the Neo from the Matrix, how to become that, as I'm becoming it myself, because I'm still in work in process. So I'm not acting like I've totally done it all. I've done some of it. I seen it. I'm telling I seen it. You know what I mean? So when you come together with your monad, your kindred spirits, and your soul group, when you come together with your spirit family, whether it's 3 of y'all, 4 of y'all, 5 of y'all, 12 of y'all, and y'all vibrating high, that's how we're gonna be able to stop the bullets. That's how we're gonna be able to stop the bombs over Baghdad. That's how. That's how we're gonna be able to regenerate and take cancer out of ourselves and get to see this 120 years or 200 years or 300 years or be here while the rapture come. Because Christ said some of y'all was going to be here in the rapture. If Christ told them they was going to be here in the rapture, where are they? They got to be still here because the rapture ain't come yet. The rapture ain't come yet. So I'm speaking to y'all. But I ain't going to, I promise you, I'm not here for that. I'm not here to sound smart or articulate or to get booked to go do shows over here, get booked to go over here. I ain't here for that, y'all. That's not what I'm here for. Those who not ready, as long as I can implant it in your soul, like me, studying Noble Jew Ali, and it was implanted in my soul, me coming up in the school of Elijah Muhammad, me studying Clarence 13X, or me studying Dr. Malachi York, It was implanted in my spirit. I had to go through those phases. I had to hear those things. Somebody had to tell me I was a child of Israel, that I'm from that lineage and I'm something special, that I'm a child of the Most High Creator. Even if they made them black, that was a good thing because they had to be black, because at the moment I thought I was just a nigga from the Bronx. That's it. Street nigga. Slaves. I, in my mind, thought white people were smarter than us. I'm keeping it real. I thought they were smarter than us. I thought we was the second-class citizens. And I'm not making it a race thing because it's a soul thing, y'all. And I'm not making it a race thing. I'm just saying, me personally, had to go through those phases, because if I'd have thought that this color was second grade or was meant to be a slave, then how could I ever believe that I was God? How could I ever believe that I had a personal relationship with God? How could I actually believe that I could do Jedi mind tricks? How could I actually believe that I could walk through walls or fly or astral project? How could I ever believe that if first of all, I'm not white, the keepers of the knowledge is somebody important? So I had to be shown that I was important. So if looking at them as less than, which I don't now, but if somebody had to show me that the white man was the devil and we were gods, I had to accept that, because in those baby stages, I had to learn that. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Because if I didn't, then I would have always been like, well, because they still run this planet. They still run the planet. Your president is, even when your president was black, they still run the planet. He ain't do much for us. He looked better in office. You know what I mean? He may have, just like I'm saying, he may have gave our children hope. Well, if Obama could be president, I could be president. Condoleezza Rice ran for president. I like for my daughters to see that. Not because I think that they could be president or that they should be president, but at least it showed them that they could do anything. Do that make any sense to y'all? So I needed them to see that Condoleezza Rice could run for president, because I wanted them to see, like, wow, she could have been president, so I could be president. Not to be president, but just to let her know, my daughters know that, yeah, you can do anything. You can do anything, baby. You could be anything. So it's not a race thing with me. Just understand what I'm saying. Yeah, walk through walls. Yeah, walk through walls. I never walked through a wall though, but you can. You can. Because a wall is not solid, just like my body's not solid. We're vibrating low because our vibration is low, so we become a solid. That's science. The higher you vibrate, the more fluid you become. When you watch Star Wars, right? When they go in not Star Wars, Star Trek. When they used to get beamed up, you see their body dematerialize. That's because their frequency vibrates so high that it begins to separate. It begins to separate. If you take a diamond and you make a diamond vibrate, it'll separate. The molecules within it will separate. So when you vibrate so high, you can separate your molecules. When you vibrate so high, you can separate the molecules in this wall. This is why when people get abducted by aliens, the aliens come through the wall. The aliens come through the wall because they're vibrating higher. When Christ walked on water, it's because he made the water more dense. And the water became dense so he could walk on the water. Ice is water. It's just when it's frozen, the molecules are slowed down, so it becomes a solid. That same water that he walked on becomes a vapor. When it vibrates high, the molecules separate and it becomes a vapor. And those vapors go back into the clouds. But if you don't believe it, you won't be able to achieve it. Everybody can't walk through walls. If you don't believe you can walk through walls, guess what? You'll never be able to walk through a wall. If you don't believe that you can walk through a wall, guess what? You'll never believe that you can heal cancer. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I'm just telling you that you can. I'm telling you that you can. I'm telling you that you can. But if you don't believe it, that's cool. That's all right. But I'll tell you what I did do. I healed scoliosis. I'll tell you what I did do. I took a kidney that was 25, that was functional only 20-something% and boosted back to his natural state in a couple of days, to the point where the doctor was asking my wife at the time, what happened? How did her kidney get fixed so fast? I could tell you that. I've done that. I've spoken to water and then gave it to somebody who was suffering from a mental ailment, walking around talking to himself, and that person came back to his natural self and told me he'd been like that since his mother passed away. So if I don't have the imagination, right, to believe that I could walk on water, then how can I program water to heal cancer? If I don't believe that I could walk through walls, if I have a headache, how could I close my eyes and send love and light to that headache and take away my headache in 2 seconds without taking medication? So if I don't believe I could walk on water, then I won't be able to take away a headache. I won't be able to heal myself. I won't be able to change my type 2. When they told me I had type 2 diabetes, or when they told me my blood pressure and cholesterol was through the roof, and I told them I wanted a second opinion, and I went back to my cell, prayed, and I was in prison, prayed and meditated over a weekend, then went back to the same doctor. They ran a test and it was fixed. Nothing was just what they said it was. If I don't believe I could walk through walls, then I wouldn't be able to do that. So if you don't believe that, then you're not going to be able to heal, and you're on the wrong channel. Go to a religious channel and go debate with a religious belief system. I'm not a religious belief system, so I'm not here to debate. I'm here for those who believe. If you don't believe, then you're on the wrong channel. You're wasting your time. I would never sit here and text or type against what somebody's saying, because I wouldn't have time. You know how much, there's only 24 hours in a day. So I would never waste a second of my time to text or go against something that somebody said. The only way I would be sitting here if I was here to learn. If I'm not here to learn, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't. You know how many channels I go through on YouTube and TikTok, and somebody's saying something that's completely wrong, and I laugh and I say to them, that's that soul's journey. And the people that are there that believe it, that means it resonate with them. We're all not old souls. All our souls, some souls been left. I'm one of the souls that been left a long, 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 long time ago. Some of y'all are just still emanating from the all in all. So you come down here, and this is why y'all worship a LeBron James or Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Because you're a new soul. New souls are fascinated by new shit. That's new shit. So I'm not fascinated by that. You know what I mean? So I'm here for those old souls. If you don't see it, it's not for me to try to make you believe, because you're never going to believe. I could walk through the wall and you still wouldn't believe, because now we got AI, which is Metatron, right? So now Metatron is in these systems, and Metatron is putting out so much AI that even if I walk through a wall, you wouldn't be able to believe it. They made it so you wouldn't believe. This is one of the main things AI is here for. It's not just entertainment. It's so when people are doing light things, you won't believe it. So you wouldn't believe it anyway. You wouldn't believe. Jesus Christ was here, if you believe in the story, doing all the things he did, and people still didn't believe. People still didn't believe. Peter was right there with him when he did all these things. Peter seen him walk on water. So Peter saw him walk on water, if you believe the story. And Christ said, you're going to deny me 3 times. Peter still denied him. And he saw him walk on water. He saw him raise the dead. Peter was there and saw everything that he did, but he still denied him. So you think for 1 second, I think that I can convince you? I know I can't convince you, but it's not meant for you to be convinced. You have to unalive and reincarnate maybe 1,000 more times before you will ever be able to believe you have to walk through water. And that's no shot at you, or not saying, like you're inferior or whatever the case may be. You just late to the party. That's it. You're late to the party. And that's okay. Everybody don't arrive at the same time. Everything ain't for everybody as well. Like, everything ain't for everybody. You have to know what's for you. But don't come somewhere if it's not for you. You don't have to be here. You're wasting your time. It's too much going on in this world to be here to waste your time, because you've been here about 10 minutes saying that we can't do all the things we can't do. Only thing I can say to you is, don't waste your time doing that. Time is precious. Your life is only but a mini, less than a quarter, whatever the smallest of a second, fragment of a second can be. Don't waste one smallest of a fragment of whatever a second could be to sit here and type that I'm wrong. Don't waste your energy doing it, brother. Why would you do that? I don't understand that. Yeah, that's what Christ said, that he would go back. That if he lost one sheep, he would go back for one and risk the 99 to go back for that one. So, but this is not that, y'all. In order to be one of the sheep, if one sheep got lost and he went back for that sheep, then that means that it was of his flock. So if somebody doesn't believe that Christ was black, or somebody doesn't believe that they got God in them, or somebody doesn't believe that they can manipulate time, space, and matter, cast out demons, heal cancer, if people don't believe that they could do that, right, then that means they're not one of the 99. I'm not going back for the one. Because that one is not a part of the 99. There's only 99 sheep. When Jesus said he would leave the 99 for one, that means it's 100. You think that was all the sheep? No, there might have been millions of sheep, but he only had his 100 sheep. So this guy in the comments, he's not a sheep. He's not one of the 100. He's not one of the 99, and he's not the last one. He's outside of that scope because he doesn't know what he is and that's okay too. It's not a shot. It's okay. It's okay. Everything ain't for everybody. That's what people down here on earth don't. That's another thing that we lose in this earth school, man. There's so many people down here that what they call NPCs. There are so many people down here that are meant to be here to keep this machine going. Right? This is what the Anunnaki came here for. I don't believe they came here for gold. I don't believe that story about gold. I believe they came here for souls, if that makes any sense. When they say they needed gold to protect their atmosphere, I personally believe, me personally, I'm going to say belief. And this is when it comes to belief and knowing. I'm not going to say I know that. I know that the all in all is in me and I can manipulate time, space, and matter. I know that. But I'm going to say my belief is when they came down here, that they didn't come down here for physical gold. They came down here for spiritual gold. I believe they created a lot of these bodies in different races and beings, and they populated this earth to get a vibration from this earth. That the vibration coming from this earth, what maybe was helping their solar system. Like you see in the Matrix, we were created to be physical bodies or batteries, vibrational batteries for whatever it is they're trying to protect, or maybe it's an energy for their life force. That's how they live for 900 years or 1,000 years. I'm not going to act like I fully know it, but I know it wasn't for physical gold. You know what I mean? Because they didn't have to make a conscious being for physical gold. They didn't have to do that. You understand what I'm saying? And they are babies too. They're babies too because what? They still need technology. They couldn't just fix their solar system or their atmosphere. All you got to do is say B. All you got to do is say B. Their planet, our planet is a high vibrational being. This planet is alive. This planet decided to be a planet just to harvest souls and conscious beings upon it. Planets are alive. So we pray, most of the people here on this planet pray to a being that has hands, feet, and all of that. Even Mother Earth, you think she has a group of people? Everybody living here. She's here to give to all of us. She's here for everybody. She's here for everybody. As much as we pollute, drill for oil, is all the back, chop down trees, everything we do. You know, all she got to do if she got mad, forget about the God a lot of these people praise. If Mother Earth got mad, all she would have to do is tilt on her axis one good time and we all out of here. Every last one of us. But she has patience. So how your God don't have patience, but yet the earth, it's so-called created, has that kind of patience. You understand, y'all? You understand, whichever one you want to, ascribe to. So people, when they jump in here and they get racist and say, oh, we got a black Jesus, or, well, they want to get into doctrine. They're going to get into religious doctrine. They're going to get into race. And they're going to get into unbelief. That's what they're going to do. Because they're babies. If I went to a channel, right, and the guy had a white Jesus and he was white and he was saying what I was saying right now, I would still listen to him. I would still listen to him. He could say the same thing that I'm saying now. I would still listen to him because I would still learn and it would still resonate with me what he's saying because it's for me. He could be white and his Jesus could be white. That's okay. Black Jesus for black people, white Jesus for white people. I just believe that he's black because this is a black planet. And it's not a racial thing. If we went to a planet, we might could go to Pluto. They say Pluto's an ice planet, right? We might could go to Mars, and we might go to a planet that's further from the sun where there's snow all over it. And the white people might be the dominant race on that planet because they're more suitable to that planet. It's not a racist thing. It's just what it is. This is a galactic. I believe in a. First of all, I'm gonna tell you. I believe there's a galactic council. There's all kinds of planets and all kinds of beings. Star Wars and Star Trek. Yeah, that's what's really going on. So if I believe that, how could I ever be racist? Because there's a lot of shit going on. right? There's an ineffable amount of planets, an ineffable amount of beings, an ineffable amount of planets, beings, and races. So why would I be racist? So if I say this is the black planet, they're gonna be like, oh, he's racist. No, there's black planets, there's white planets, there's giraffe planets, there's all kind of shit going on. There's beings living in the sun. There's beings that can live in the sun. Can you live in the sun? There's beings living in the sun, just like there's shit living in the water. Can you live in the water? All right then. All you have to do is see who's more structured to inhabit a certain planet. You're gonna know because the people look like the planet where they're from. Like they say the Nordics or the Palladians, they're pale white with blue eyes, right? Because most likely their planet is further from a sun. That's okay. It don't have to. It's not a race thing. It's just some old soul shit. My soul's just a little old. I apologize. I'm gonna be super esoteric. I'm gonna sound like a bunch of fantasy because I got an old ass soul and I seen all that shit in real life at some point in my soul's journey. So that's why I know it exists because my eyes laid upon it 1,000 times over. So I know it exists. And it is 120 people in here. So there's probably about 30 of us in here who resonate with that because they know. They're like, yo, I know. When I watch Lord of the Rings, I know I've been there. When I watch Star Wars and Star Trek, I know I've been there. My family been calling me weird. I've been different. I've been the black sheep. It's because I'm an old soul. So I know there's a bunch of us on here. I know there is. The babies come up here with the debating because that's a baby. That's what a baby do. You know what I mean? Remember when you was in school, you learned something, you come home to your brothers and sisters and like, oh, you don't know this? Uh-huh, yes I do. And then y'all going back and forth because y'all babies. So when grown people do it, you got to remember that they're still babies. Maybe not in their age, but there's a lot of new souls down here, y'all. That's all. If you don't see it, you don't see it. It's not for you. Everything ain't for everybody. You know what I mean? Everything ain't for everybody, y'all. Hold on, I want to play this for y'all.
So it is.
I want to play this for y'all.
Jumped off the porch.
Because somebody sent this to me. Hold on, I'm going to take this
I know
off for a
y'all looking
second.
for me. I would like to report a crime, officer. The Maryland police. You're looking for me. It's me. I'm the one that did the shooting at the gas station. The Most High God. I just want you to know you have no authority over on my earth. Put your badges down. I'm getting ready to rob something right now. Because I need money for gas. Because I'm going to go burn something down. I want you to know I don't buy things. I don't pay for anything. Everything I do, I walk in the store. I steal everything. I shot that man because he has a demon spirit. And he laughed in my face and thought it was funny. I bet he ain't laughing.
Are y'all listening to that? Are y'all listening to what I just played? I don't know if y'all listening to what I just played, but what I just played was this woman in Maryland, I believe Baltimore, and she robbed the gas station and unalived the guy, and she's pretty much saying that she's God and demons, and she's fighting demons, and she unalived the guy who worked at the gas station because he had a demon attached to him. Right? She's saying that she unalived this guy because he had a demon attached to her. I took Christ down, y'all, because I see a lot of people focusing on the what I had behind me. Maybe they'll feel more comfortable with this. And the reason why I switched, because Christ is the same thing as this. The only thing this is showing you is the duality. The duality, y'all. Masculine energy and feminine energy. And it's showing the 7 inner body chakra system. I believe there's more than 7 chakras. You have the 9th, which is the 8th, which is the first chakra outside of your head. Then you have the 9th. I believe we in our auric field, in our auric field, and in our astral body, and in our light bodies, it goes up and up and up and up and up and up and up. So we do have 7 in our physical bodies, and then we have 8, which 8 represents infinity. The 2 orbs on top of each other makes an 8. So the first orb outside of it is your 8th, then your 9th, then your 10th. And the reason why I showed this and I took Christ down, because a lot of people in the chat, like the Bees brother, you know, they're stuck on the whole Christ thing. And whether it was a myth or mythology or whatever, there's been several stories of people who came down here on this planet who was able to wake the dead and cast out demons. There is no such thing as a mental health issue. When you guys sit here and talk about mental health issue, you need to study and stop letting people tell you stuff. Because if you study, then you know where the term mental health came from. Mental health came from a guy named Hippocrates. This is why doctors take a Hippocratical oath. And he was a Greek. He was a Greek, and he went into Egypt. He was from the 5th century, and he was a 5th century Greek who went and studied in Egypt, and he became the father of modern medicine. This is why doctors take the Hippocratical oath, right? There's no such thing as mental health. He created mental health. Why? Because he went into Egypt. When he went into Egypt, and he learned that there was a witch doctor, for lack of a better term, or the Jedi. This is where the guy from Star Wars got the term Jedi from. If you thought George Lucas made up the term Jedi, he didn't make up the term Jedi. The Jedi was a priesthood in Egypt. And just like in the Star Wars movie, they can talk to you telepathically. They can move things with their hands. And again, if you don't believe you could walk through a wall, then you don't believe these things exist either. So when he went and he studied under them, when he went back to Greece, what he did was he said he separated mental health and spiritual health, because when you read about him, if you go Google him, it's going to say he separated superstition. So he called somebody who was a schizophrenic, hearing voices in their head. In Egypt, they said that person, there were spirits talking to him. So because he was Greek and he never knew what spirits was or knew how to manipulate time, space, and matter, because he was like some of you, a baby, he said, oh, that's superstition. That person is talking to itself because something is wrong with their mind. So let me try to figure out what's wrong with their mind. So he separated the two. And that's from him came psychology. And if you study what psychology means, psyche, which is Greek, right? Because he was Greek, right? So the Greek term psyche, which is the first part of psychology, and we know ology is the study of, right? So psyche was who? Psyche was a human who the goddess Hera, a Greek god, was mad because Psyche was so beautiful. So she sent her son, Cupid, who the Romans called Eros, down. She fell in love with Eros, or Cupid, who was what? A god, a spirit that people couldn't see. So this was a human who had a relationship with an entity or a deity that most people couldn't see. And this is where psychology came from. A human who had a relationship with a being that we could not see. So all of these things come from somewhere. This ain't conspiracy. Just sit down and read something, and I'm not even, this is for those who need to know. This is for those who certain things resonate in their spirit. You cannot teach some people. And I'm not here to teach or preach. I'm here to remind. That's why I'm not a teacher. Because all I'm doing is reminding those who know who they are. That's all I'm here to do. I'm reminding y'all. I can't teach nobody, because if they don't know and it don't resonate in them, you can't teach somebody that's, if it's not in them, to be it. You understand what I'm saying, y'all? You can't teach somebody something that's not in them. If it ain't in them, it ain't in them. I'm not teaching, I'm reminding. Because when I went through the mystery school of Dr. Malachi York, it was in me. I was just reminded of who I was. That's it. When the brothers pulled those spirits, when they pulled all them demons out of me, all they did was remind me of who I was. When I was a kid, I used to watch Firestarter. Y'all remember Firestarter, right? Because my name was Charlie. You remember Drew Barrymore? Drew Barrymore, first movie, Firestarter? And she used to get mad and she used to set fires. That was my favorite movie as a kid. That was my favorite movie as a kid. Drew Barrymore, Firestarter. If you never seen it, go watch it. And she would get mad, and when she get mad, she'll set people on fire. You know why it was my favorite movie? Because I felt like I could do that. I was an abused kid. I was a neglected kid. And I felt like as a kid that I had more power than adults. I just didn't know my power. So that resonated with me. So when I went through those mystery schools, what was taught to me resonated with me. So they was just reminding me. They wasn't really teaching me. They was reminding me in the form of a teaching or a preaching. I was reminded. So you can't teach the person who says he can't walk through a wall. How can I teach him? I can never teach him how to walk through a wall. I can tell him, but if he don't believe, it'll never happen. Right? Because just like Christ, when he told Peter to walk on water, Peter started to walk on water because it's in Peter to walk on water. But as soon as the wind blew, he became scared and he sunk. You understand? Christ didn't teach it. Let me show you how to walk on water. He told him to walk on water because if either it's in you or it's not. It was in Peter, but he just didn't believe. You think Jesus could have told one of the Sadducees or the Pharisees to walk on water? No, because they're going to say, oh, you blasphemous. You can't do that. None of that's true. They wouldn't have believed nothing. So how could he teach them? He couldn't teach them. They're unteachable. So I'm not a teacher at all. I'm just here to remind my soul group, my monad, my kindred spirits. I'm here to remind y'all who we are. That's it. Just like I was reminded. And once it clicked, then y'all might be better teachers than me. Maybe y'all have the anointings, and maybe you could change, the people in your own personal galaxy. Because that's all these chakras is, y'all. As above, so below. That's your planetary system, man. That's what your circles in you. That's your planetary system within you. And then you have a second planetary system, which is your mother, father, sister, brother, or your wife, your children. That's your other planetary system. Besides the one that's in you, then you have your core group of family. That's your other planetary system. And then we have the planetary system above, so below. As without, so within. These things are continuously. And even with the things that I'm showing y'all, for real, y'all, you'll be able to see the pattern in everything. They call it the flower of life. You'll be able to see the pattern in everything. So you don't have to go back and forth with another human being about certain things because it's in a pattern. Everything is in patterns. Everything. You could watch ants and look at the ants and look at their system, and there's a system. It might be cars, right? You might could be up high and look down on Earth and it look like cars. Or you see how they showed the cities and the cities look like the motherboard of a computer. Everything is in reminiscent of everything, y'all. Everything. The wave pattern in your hair looks like the galaxy. The wave pattern in your fingers, your fingerprints look just like the pattern that they say galaxies look like. It's just everything repeats itself. So it's not about a right or wrong or a belief. If you have discernment, you'll be able to see. Some people don't see. They'll never be able to see. The spirit is in us is from our ancestors, bro. Learn about your roots, your origins, and you'll see the world in a different light. What if I told you that that's exactly what I'm saying? What if I'm telling you that's what I'm saying? I'm not talking about ancestors and my people who just, I'm talking about a monad, or oversoul. That's what I've been saying. But so if your mind is cloudy and you can't see, then you can't see what I'm saying. I'm actually saying what you're saying. But you're so caught on the dogma, whether I had Christ up here or I said we could walk through a wall, you so caught up on that you're not hearing what I'm saying. Because when I first came on here, I said Israel, the children of Israel, is not a religion. It is a soul group. It is a monad. We all come from bigger souls. That's what the 144,000 is. 144,000 is 144,000 monads. 144,000 oversouls. And from these oversouls emanate little pieces of itself. And this is how you reincarnate or carnate into certain families and certain soul groups. It's the same thing that I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're looking at it from the mind that you're looking at it in. I'm going beyond that. But you're right. We are the souls of our ancestors because we keep reincarnating. My daughter has the traits of my grandmother, but she never met my grandmother. So when I watch her, I see my grandmother in her. She is my grandmother. My grandmother's not sitting in some chair waiting for me to come back. Yeah, her spirit may be still down here in certain ways, shape, form, or fashion, but she reincarnated into my daughter. And then again and again and again. This is why you have Henry the 14th, Henry the 15th. They know Elizabeth the Third, and they waiting for the second Elizabeth. This is why cousins marry cousins in Egypt and in the monarchy right now. That girl who married Prince Henry or whatever, the half black, half white girl, she's actually from their bloodline, y'all. She's from somewhere, some way. She has their blood in them. That's why all of these presidents have the same blood. It's all bloodlines. If you keep intermarrying into your cousins, then some of those spirits will come back in. It's highly more likely that spirit will come back in through that family. If you keep mixing of the bloodlines, that spirit will more than likely come back into that family. But they're doing it on a lower vibrational state. I'm talking about oversouls. That's what I'm talking about. What some people call ancestors. It's the same knowledge, bro. I don't know. But again, whatever your school of thought is for you, bro. I'm talking about high vibrational shit. I'm talking about leaving, but I'm talking about vibrating and ascending before you physically perish. How about that? That's what I'm talking about. All of the rhetoric and all of that, I don't want to get into the rhetoric. I want to teach my children how to live a long life. I want to teach my children if cancer, if they're not vibrating high and cancer has a way to sneak in to their physical temple, that they can remove that cancer, that they can remove the spirit of doubt. They can remove the spirit of fear. They can remove the spirit of ignorance, because it's all spirits. That's what I want to teach about. I don't want to go back in the rhetoric and who's right or who's wrong. There's nothing. You know why I can't do that? Because whatever you say, I agree with. How about that? If there's a Muslim, Christian, and Jew here, and they all attack me with their rhetoric, I'm going to agree with everything they're saying. The only thing we're not going to agree with is they're just going to believe that their God is the all in all. And it's not. It is a God. I'm going to agree with everything that they say. Yeah, you're not going to make it into heaven. Yeah, I'm not going to make it into heaven. I already been there. I'm not trying to go to heaven. I'm trying to go back to the source from which that heaven was created for. I'm not going somewhere where there's a throne. If you go somewhere where there's a throne, then you're going somewhere where there's a physical God. If that God sits upon a throne, then that's a physical God. I'm not going where there's a physical God. My soul is older than that. Why care? Why care? Why not care? Because we're here. To be here is to care. You're here, so you have to care. You have to eat, don't you? You care to eat. You care to sleep. You care to breathe. If you don't care, then why are you here? As long as you're here, you're going to care. As long as you're in matter, it matters. It only don't matter if you're not in matter. We're in matter, so it matters. Do you understand or understand? Tap my screen if I'm saying something that makes sense. Yeah, it is all from self, because self is the all in all. Bam, bam. Self is the all in all. We are the all in all. It is all from us. So that's why I'm not going to refute or go back and forth with the religious morals and dogmas, because that is what they're here to be. They are what they were put here to be, which is to praise a physical God in a physical heaven. That is okay. That's what they're here to do. We all don't go to the same place. There's a billion people here. If Mother Earth tilt on her axis from that 23rd degree, and she tilt on her axis, and we all unalive instantaneously right now, you think all the billion of us is going only to heaven and hell? The whole billion of us is only going two places that we're going. A billion people on this joint, and we're in a million different places, physically, mentally, and spiritually. But if we all unalive instantaneously right now, y'all believe they're only going to heaven and hell. Those who believe it are going to heaven and hell. I'm not going to heaven and hell, y'all. I'm not. I'm going back to the all in all. And the all in all is like, okay, I'm not even going to say my son. I'm not even going to say my son. It'd be like, okay, all right, now go back there and bring some more of myself back to me. What the Vedas call the out breath. That's what they call the out breath. The all in all breathed out. And in that one breath, everything spawned. There's a time when that is going to be a breath in. Everything comes back, and then everything goes out. Then everything comes back. Then everything goes out. That's all. I'm just trying to make it back. While the breath is still breathing out, I'm still trying to make it back. And as I make it back, I can go back and I can come back in and pull some more out. And I'm being my own personal breath. I'm not waiting for the galaxy or everything in existence to come back in, if that makes any sense. I'm coming back in and out on my own. That's what I want to do. That's where I'm going. That's it. That's all. As I'm down here having this human experience. So you could attack with morals and dogmas, because more than likely, I'm going to tell you, yeah, I agree. I just don't agree that. And I do agree. Let me not even say that. I just know that I'm not going where you're going. The Muslim heaven, the Christian heaven, I'm not going where y'all going. Go there. That's okay. It's okay to go there. It's meant for you to go there. That's where all the new souls go. They have to go there. They have to have something to praise and worship. They have to have that. Heaven, that ship called heaven has to be filled. Someone has to sit at the feet of that God as it sits on its throne and worship that God all day, every day. There are some souls that have to do that, right? I'm an entrepreneur. Do you think everybody could be an entrepreneur? If everybody was an entrepreneur, right? If everybody owned the McDonald's, who's going to sit at the window and say, did you get in everything? Was your fries hot? You need napkins? Would you or more ice? Somebody has to make sure your fries is hot. Everybody can't own a McDonald's. So who am I to teach a class or preach to the class about you have to be an entrepreneur, you have to get a McDonald's? I understand and I understand that everybody can't own a McDonald's. Somebody has to put the fries down. Somebody has to take the order. Somebody has to mop the floor. So it's okay. If your dreams and ambitions is to work at McDonald's, not saying it don't have to be McDonald's. It could be going to the NBA. It could be something that we think is great down here. You know what I'm saying? Or being the next superstar rap star, whatever you think is, or being the next Elon Musk, whatever it is, whatever you think is great, do that. That's for you to do. I'm not speaking to you. You're on the wrong channel. For whatever you want to debate, there's a channel of people who believe what you believe. Go with the people who believe what you believe, because now when y'all come together collectively, because y'all in an agreement, y'all can do some powerful things down here if you're in an agreement. I know and understand that. That's why I'm looking for those who are in agreement so we could do some powerful things, because we ain't got time to go back and forth about was Jesus black, was he white, where's the Garden of Eden, and all. I ain't got time to go back and forth about that. I'm not going to discuss religious dogma with people who ain't cast out a demon. I'm not going to discuss religious dogma with people who hasn't healed someone physically, mentally, or spiritually. I'm not going to discuss religious dogma with somebody that the universe isn't speaking to directly, because all they're doing is regurgitating the knowledge that they read, that was given to them. But it was meant to be given to them, if that makes any sense. That's what they meant to be doing. So why would I go against what's in their soul's journey? That's in their journey to do that. I'm not here to convince you. I'm just here to tell you to stay the hell out of my life, slowing my life down with your negativity, because I'm not here to go back and forth with you. You're not ready for what I have. You're not. And even when you tell me I'm not ready for what you have, I laugh, because I'm gonna say, you know what? You're right. I'm not there. I'm never gonna be there. So use your dogma to tell me that I'm going to hell, or that I believe in shirk, or whatever it is in your religious dogma. Put your titles from your religious dogma upon me. That is okay, because you can't judge me. Your own books say you can't judge me. You're not here to judge me. That's not what you're here for. Just live your tenets to the best of your ability. Work your tenets to the best of your ability, beloved. For real. Oh, it got me off. Say you're right. I'm not ready for whatever you got to say. That's true. That's true. Some people ain't ready, and that's okay. That's okay. You are defending that by having the picture of a person in the color. And what are you saying? What are you saying, Beverly Powell? What are you saying, Beverly Powell? Tell me what you're trying to say. You said you are defending that by having the picture of a person in that color. You mean in you talking about the picture of Jesus that I had up? That I'm defending the color that he is? Make me understand what you're saying. I'm fried. Okay, that's all right. I could be fried, y'all. How do you know it has to be interpreted without religion? Where did you get that? How do you know it has to be interpreted without religion? Where did you get that? What do you mean? You're talking about what they say and what they say about what? Oh, hold on. You're talking about what they say and what they say. What about what you say? You're getting it from somewhere. Yeah, I'm getting it from my soul, Beverly. Hold on, I'm gonna read your other comment, but I'm getting it from my. I read their stuff, right? I read their stuff. I'm not acting like I know everything, but I was a Muslim, and then I went through prison, and then I was a Hebrew Israelite. I was raised around Hebrew Israelites. I was raised around God bodies, so I read a lot of their stuff. But as I was reading it, it didn't sit right with me. None of it sat right with me. Let me tell you about myself, right? Let me tell you about me. So as I'm reading these doctrines, you may not know my history, but just to give you a little short synopsis of me and my history, I'm a street dude from the South Bronx, and I spent 18 years of my life in prison. And on those 18 years, I probably spent about 8 years in solitary confinement. So in all them years in and out of prison, I was reading religion. I was reading religion. I was studying religion. I was practicing religion, reading, studying, and practicing. It never sat right with me. None of it ever sat right with me. As I read, prayed, meditated, none of it sat right to me. Now, I've been around Muslims who believed what they believed, and when they called the Adhan, when they sung, before it's called calling the Adhan, and they sing in their prayers. I had a brother, because he believed what he believed in, he was so powerful that he used to put me to sleep every time he called the Adhan. That's vibrational. I'll get into that later. He was vibrating so high that he would put me to sleep. So I know that there's a high level of vibration in their prayers and meditations as far as the Muslims go. I went to a Christian church when I was still gangbanging, before I was into God, before I overstood who I was. And the Christian church pulled the demons that was in me out of me when I walked into a church, and I walked up to the altar and passed out in front of the altar, tears running down my face, snot and everything, because that particular church had the anointings in it. So because the parishioners and the pastors had the anointings, they was vibrating so high that they made that demon flee from me. So what I'm saying, my sister, is even though they have dogma, there is high vibrational things in their dogma. What I'm saying is, when I met these brothers and they pulled the spirits and demons up out of me and taught me how to heal myself and others. So when I was able to heal someone of scoliosis, when I was able to save somebody's kidney who was only functioning 25%, when I was able to fix my own knee, when I was able to reverse my my type 2 diabetes and high cholesterol, when I was able to do these magical things, when I was able to pray in water and program water and hand it to somebody who was walking around talking to himself, and he ceased to do that and told me he was in that state, asked me what year it was, and when I told him what year it was, he cried and said his mother died in 1996, and that that I'm not telling him that it's 2012, and I'm like, yeah, it's 2012, and he started crying and was like, my mother died in 1996. He don't know that a spirit attached itself to him, and that's why he walked around New York City in a daze, in a haze, talking to himself. So once I begin to do those things, because these brothers taught me how to activate my macabre, how to line up my chakras, how to pray, how to meditate, and to use Christ as a consciousness. Jesus Christ is a consciousness. Jesus Christ is a priesthood. It tells us that in this religion doctrine. It tells you that. So I've read the Bible, I read the Quran, and I came to the point when once I was able to cast out demons, once I was able to heal myself and others, once I gained power, never mind what somebody reads and believe. Well, not belief, because belief is what gave me the power to do what I do. If you don't believe or have the faith of a mustard seed, then you won't be able to move a mountain. So once I was able to be shown the power in these tenets and actually living in the tenets instead of the dogma, instead of reading and being convicted in one standpoint because somebody read you something and taught you something, the only thing that means anything down here is actual power. Power. In Christ's name, Jesus, Yahshua, Yahweh, whether you call him Isa, is power. So that's why I ascribe to that name, because that's the name that I used to move things that I was moving. Now, the dogma and having a preacher and these physical deities that these people worship, I'm not even saying that's wrong. As long as they really worship it, then they're going to get the heaven that they believe that they're going to get. I'm talking to those who are vibrating higher, those who've been here 1,000 times and understand that the Abrahamic belief system, Muslim, Christians, and Jews, that understand that that's a new practice. That's who I'm speaking to. Those who are tired of being here and tired of asking their God to cure cancer and it don't happen. Asking their God that they live a long and prosperous life and it doesn't happen. I'm talking to those who are beyond praising a God that's jealous, envious, have a hand, and sits in the throne. Those who understand that we come from the all in all, the ineffable one, the force. That's who I'm talking to. Those who want to be Neo in the Matrix. And not the people sitting in when you watch the Matrix, not the ones who were sitting in Zion. Remember all the people in Zion? Those were the religious people in Zion. They were the religious people in this world. They were the religious. Who was going out actually fighting the Matrix in the beings? Neo. He had to leave. He was like a Christ one, right? He was like Christ. He believed he could do it, and he began to do it, and they was down there worshiping Neo, hoping Neo could save him. And then if they couldn't save him, their next line of defense was to use their guns and their weapons to fight off the sentients or whatever they called them, right? That's what's going on down here. They show you in these movies, y'all, because the people who make these movies, and because it's real stuff. There's a galactic, a federal galactic council, and that council, they have to show you. So they show you who you are. But some souls, these new souls, they have to find something to praise outside of their connection to the all in all. And I'm not praising Christ. Christ is a birthright. It's a technique. It's a consciousness. It's a way of living in a state of being. That's all I'm saying. I'm not even talking bad about them. Some of them are meant to be in that state. That's okay. Everybody, this planet has to be, this realm of reality, this third dimension has to be full of souls, y'all. There has to be teachers, preachers, nurses, doctors to cater to the physical human. So the physical humans have to be here. I'm talking to those who are beyond the physical. That's all. That's all I'm talking to. And I stopped because you ask good questions, and it sounds like you really want to know. And when somebody asks me a question, I gotta have a good answer, or I shouldn't be up here talking. I gotta have I ain't gonna say a good answer. I gotta believe in my answer and be passionate about my answer. It don't have to be good, because good is due to interpretation. You know what I'm saying? So let me see what else you said, because you did ask a good question. Gods and God are different. How about this? And you said gods and God is different. The same way when we read these religious texts, the same way when we read these things, right? How they'll say God in lowercase letter with an S on it, then they'll say God, but then they'll say Lord too, and then they'll say the Most High too, right? Even Muslims believe that Allah has 99 attributes, right? So what if I told you this? The ineffable one isn't a God. It isn't a God. There are many gods. The ineffable one is the ineffable one. It's unfathomable to the human mind what it is. It's everything. It can't become jealous because it is jealousy. It's not going to be jealous of another God because it is the other God. It's not going to be. It's everything. So it can't become nothing because it's everything. So it can't become jealous because it is everything. Does that make any sense? I'm trying to see tap the screen if it make any sense. If it don't make any sense, say it don't make any sense. Because I'm not the best articulate human being down here, and I'm not really a teacher, nor am I a preacher. The only thing I can tell you is, if you say your God is a jealous God, then I know in order for that God to be a jealous God, then it has to become jealous. But I know jealous is an entity. Hate, anger, lust, they're all entities. They're all entities. They're all energies. They're all demigods. So if my God is able to become or be influenced by the spirit of jealousy, then I know it's not the all in all, because the all in all is everything. The all in all don't walk into the Garden of Eden and say, "Where are you, Adam? Why did you do that? Why did you eat from the tree I knew you was going to eat from? Why did you eat from all the stuff that I put here and I rested on the day after I made man? I took a rest." The all in all don't rest. The all in all is everything. The all in all don't rest. Only a God rests. Only a God puts something somewhere and don't know if you're going to eat it or not. Only a God puts something somewhere and say, I regret even making man. It says that in their doctrine. Every last one of them, the 3 Abrahamic beliefs, believe the flood story. Every last one of them. How could God regret making man? Because it's a God. God will regret making man because God get jealous, God get envious, God got hands, God had to rest after he made man. Yeah, God does that, but not the all in all. The all in all is the parent looking at the baby, knowing what the baby gonna do. How you gonna get mad at your baby? And you know your baby gonna throw the bottle on the floor. You know what it's gonna do. It's like you put the baby on the bed and the baby fall off the bed. You knew the baby was gonna fall off the bed. So why you gonna get mad at the baby for falling off the bed? How are you jealous if you know how you got a baby and you got another child or somebody who plays with the baby a lot, so the baby starts laughing and you know this person entertains the baby, right? You know it's a baby. Imagine you getting jealous and you unalive the baby and the person making the baby laugh because you mad that the baby is liking the other person more. It's a baby. You know what the baby gonna do. The only entity that get mad is a God. A God to get mad because a God need to be praised. Some of these gods only exist on the strength of belief. So if you don't praise it and you don't believe it, it will cease to exist. That's why it'll unalive people if you don't believe. It exists. It's feeding off the energy of your belief. The all in all don't feed off the energy of belief because the all in all is in all of us. It's in everything. The Muslim God, the Jew God, the Christian God, the devil God, all of them. It's everything. Why would it get upset if you don't worship it when it is you and you is it? If you understand what I'm saying. But maybe you don't. It's not in your spirit to understand, or understand. It's not in you. It's not in you. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We're all different. We're all down here for different reasons. We all from different soul groups. We're all from different belief systems. We're all from different vibrations. Even though we all come from the all in all. Just some of us are a lot farther from the all in all. A lot of us. If you don't believe you can heal cancer or yourself, if you don't believe you can do it, then you're far from the all in all. If you don't believe that you can walk through walls, then you're far from the all in all. If you don't believe that you have an eternal soul, then you're far from the all in all. If you don't believe that the all in all that created the all in all, that force, that source, the ineffable one, if you don't believe that it don't have a chair or a throne that it sits in, then you're far from the all in all. You believe in a God that has a throne, and that's okay because that's what resonates with your soul. That's the soul group you're from. I can sit here and tell y'all that the writers of Star Wars and the persons who invented basketball, the person who made up Star Trek, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, all these great minds that we follow behind, right? In some way, shape, form, or fashion, right? I can sit here and tell you that they studied under a lady named Madame Blavatsky, H.P. Blavatsky. And Madame Blavatsky taught not George Lucas personally, but the people who taught him. She taught them to contact the spirit, and the spirit that George Lucas contacted is the reason how he was able to write Star Wars. She taught the person who taught Stan Lee how to contact an entity, and that entity gave him the knowledge to put together the Marvel Universe. And that's why he was able to write all these intricate stories about all these different characters in the Marvel Universe, because he studied under somebody who studied under a woman who taught them how to have a spirit show them things, and they wrote down everything that the spirit taught them. If I could tell you that, you wouldn't believe me. But it's actually happened, but you didn't read upon it, so you would think that it was fantasy. So if you don't believe that, and that's earthly shit, how you gonna believe heavenly shit? Like Jesus told Nicodemus, if you can't believe earthly things, how the hell are you gonna believe things of the heaven? How? If you can't believe that you can heal cancer, or you could talk to some water and tell the water and program the water with love and light, and tell that water to take that spirit of headache out of your headache, or to take the cancer out of your mother, and your mother believes it, and you keep giving her that water, and that water will change her diet, it will change her blood pressure, it will change her cholesterol. If you don't believe that you can do that, and that's physical human shit, if you don't believe you can do that, how you gonna believe that the spirit of the all in all is really in you, but you don't believe you have no power to do nothing? That's like the brother said, I can't walk through a wall. If he don't believe you can, then how can you believe that the spirit of God is in you? You ain't never gonna believe. And I'm not here to teach you or teach you. I'm not here to teach or preach. I'm here to remind. If I'm not reminding you of something that's in your soul DNA, then I'm not here for you. I'm not here for you, and that's okay. Maybe something will resonate in your spirit, though. Maybe something. Maybe in all this not believing, maybe one day, God forbid, someone that, and I'm not speaking to nobody in particular, someone that you love and care about might contract a disease, and when the doctors say all else fails, maybe in that moment you'll grab some water and you'll program that water because you love that person so much that you want to help that person in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So when you run out of the resources, and the doctor who took the Hippocratical oath, the same Greek guy from the 5th century that I told you about, when they run out of all the things that he taught them to do, and you're down to your last wits, and you say, you know what? I remember seeing Brother Soul. Soul was talking this, and you grab that water and you put it in a glass, or put some crystals in it, and you program that water and you keep feeding it to your mother. And as you feeding it to your mother, you sitting there by her hospital bed, or your father or your daughter, and you sitting there by the hospital bed and you closing your eyes and you visualizing love and light coming around, and you visualizing the spirit, Archangel Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, Christ, whoever you believe in, to come around with swords and to swing those swords and chop the spirit of ailments out of your loved one. If you don't have the imagination to do that, then you ain't gonna be able to do none of those things. I'm trying to give you something of love and light and power. If you don't want to take it out of it, hey, have I done it? Yes, a little bit. But did I save the people that I love and care about? Nah, because I was too busy running the streets and doing shit I ain't had no business doing. But imagine when I find my kind on here, if it's just 4, 5, 6 of us, and we able to stand around a hospital bed, and we able to visualize these things, it's only going to be for us, the believers. It's only going to be for us, the knowers. It's only going to be for us who know, who tired of being here. It's only going to be for us. So only we can do it. Only we can do it. You ain't never had a doctor say, in all my years in and out of prison, I've had doctors say, I believe everything you believe, but between me and you, I get paid to pump these pills. So I have to give these pills, but you're right. You're right. I was looking at your chart and I was trying to figure out how your cholesterol and your blood pressure, your cholesterol gets so low, how your glucose and your other levels, y'all know them levels, how they got so low. That's why I came here to talk. The nurse told me you said it, and I wanted to come meet you personally. They done pulled me out of my cell. I wanted to meet you personally. My wife, when she lost 25% of her kidney, she was peeing in a colostomy bag while she was having my daughter. She had a doctor named Dr. Rafiki. I remember the lady name. She was a Hindu, an East Indian. You know the ones that wear the red dot right here? Wherever you from, most of your doctors are the Indians from India, that the red dot Hindus. Most of your doctors, if you're on the East Coast, those are the doctors. Those are the doctors. You know why they're the doctors? Because they have a spirit of healing from India. But they come here and they take the Hippocratical oath, and then they have to disseminate drugs. Her doctor was that. I had already done this and had doctors tell me this in Rikers Island when I was locked up. So when my wife was pregnant, lost 25% of her function with her kidney, and me and the brothers stood around her and sent Christ's unconditional love, light, healing into her. When we programmed the water to do so, when we did that and it fixed her kidney and her kidney was back to 100%, she said, well, how did this? She said, well, I'm going to be honest with you. My husband did XYZ. She was begging my wife, tell him to come see me. My wife would go, can you tell him? So fine. She was like, can you come meet Dr. Rafiki? She asked me to go because you need to meet her. I went and met her. I walked in and I saw a big old piece of crystal. She had a big crystal on the reception desk, a big old crystal matrix. I saw the dream catchers of the Indians that the Indians have, the dream catchers. I seen the dream catchers. I seen Ishnu, the head with the elephant. I'm spiritual, so I'm seeing everything that she got. So when I got there, before I even seen her, I already knew that she was spiritual because I'm looking at the things she got in the doctor's office. When I got in the back, she said, I just wanted to meet you. Oh my God, so many people, black people here, they don't know these things. We're taught these things, but we come here for medicine. We're healers, so we come here to heal. But because this is what you have to do here, we disseminate the medicine. She's not the first. She might have been the third East Indian Hindu doctor that told me I was on to something. So why would I sit here and go back and forth about religious doctrine with anybody who sits here and prays and asks something outside of themselves to do something deep down inside, they don't even believe could be done. Why would I go back and forth? I'm not here for you. Keep doing what you're doing. That's what you're here to do. I'm not even here to persuade or dissuade you from doing what you do. That's what you're here to do. I'm here for those who want to align this, get this in line. Masculine and feminine energy, positive and negative, light and dark, and be in the middle of that and learn to be God within yourself, because the kingdom of heaven is within. You are God. Is it not written in your scripture that ye are gods? Is it not written in there? If you fear heaven, then I'm telling you. If you fear hell, then I'm telling you. Live by your tenets so you can make it into heaven. Being up here trying to dissuade or persuade me is actually going against what you're supposed to be doing, because you're supposed to be praying and meditating. If you have time to sit here and go back and forth with me about religious dogma, then you're actually taking time out of the day you could be praying and meditating to make sure you got a seat in the rapture, to make sure you gonna be at the feet of the throne worshiping with the holies of holies. That's what you should be doing, not here. This ain't your channel. This ain't where you're supposed to be at. You're wasting your time here if you believe in what you believe in. Because I wouldn't be here. I'm telling y'all. When I was adamant about what I believe, I don't go to other channels to do that, because I'm not getting nothing out of that. I'm not getting nothing out of that. This is all confirmation. That's right. I'm here to confirm. I'm here to remind. That's all I'm here for, because I know y'all in here. It's 159 people in here. When my chat don't go under 100, when it don't go under 100, I know that I'm speaking to 100 of my monad. I'm reminding those powerful oversouls who are tired of reincarnating down here in this third dimensional filth. I know that I'm talking to 100 of y'all. I know I am. I'm just reminding. I'm not no teacher or no preacher. I'm just reminding you, as some brothers reminded me. There's a brother on YouTube, on TikTok, the Action Network, I think it's called. I don't want to say it wrong. He be up there, this brother vibrates so high. That's all he say. I'm just reminding you. That's all he be doing. Sometimes I'll turn him on while I'm going to work, when I was doing what I was doing, and whatever I was going through at that time, he'll be talking about it. And everything he keeps saying, I'm just here to remind you, he's me. He's me. We the same. He's us, y'all. Y'all who here, who being reminded of who you are, he's us. We the same. That's who we are. We tired of that religion. Religion ain't stick with us because we have old souls. We've been Muslim. We've been Christian. We've been Jews. We've been in Egypt. We've been in Mesopotamia. We've been in Atlantis. We've been in Lemuria. We've been there. We tired of it. We tired of being here. We've been here too many times already. So you gonna come to us and talk about worship something on the throne that get mad and get jealous. It's clear that that thing don't have no real power. Because how did it become jealous? Jealous is a spirit. How did it become jealousy? How? How did it do that? When jealousy is it? How? I mean, he's not gonna waste his time and energy on your ignorance. Nah, I can't. I mean, I'm not here for them. But it's good because sometimes it'll make me say things and articulate things in a different way when they come into the chat. So it's kind of good. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be tested. I want somebody to ask me certain questions. When I can see it, I'm going to answer it because it might be a question that somebody might need to hear. You know what I'm saying? And when I say it and it resonates, like, man, I would have said the same thing. Because that's what I used to do when I'm looking on TikTok. I've been out of prison 3 years now. For 3 years, I've been on the internet just watching. I didn't jump into the conversations. Every now and again, I'll jump in the conversation. And when I did, everybody be like, yeah, you know, I knew something, because those who what I was saying resonated with, they agreed. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't go into a devout Christian chat and do that. I wouldn't go into a devout Hebrew Israelite chat and do that. And even though I would be in the chats, when I was in the chats, I would just listen. And when they quote Bible, I would quote Bible back. And then they would try to force me to say that I was upon what they was upon, because that's what they do. And with religion, they like, yo, you know something. So now they want to be in competition because they feel you know something. So I would duck and dodge as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they was quoting Bible. I had a third shift job. I kept my Bible. Look how braggy this Bible is. I kept it with me. So when I get in there and I start reading scripture, they like, brother, you know scripture. And they be like, you Christian? Nah, I'm not Christian. Well, you did? Nah. Then they try to put you in a box. I'll be like, I ain't really none of that. They won't put you in the box, and then they turn on you. No matter how right you was and how much they agreed as far as the scripture go, but as soon as you tell them you believe in Christ as a consciousness and a way of life, it's a problem. Or when we say, oh, I am from the tribe of Israel, I am from the chosen ones of this planet, and then they're like, oh, you Hebrew Israelite? No, I'm not an Israelite. Oh, you Christian? I'm with the Hebrew Israelite. Oh, you Christian? No, I'm not a Christian. They just looking. The only places I go where I can speak freely is in the conscious community, so to speak. The ones who ain't the fatherless, right? Christ ain't have a father. Those are the ones we speak of. The lost tribe, the ones who don't ascribe to a particular moral religious dogma. Those were the only chats I could go into it, and those be the conscious one. But even those be filled with the ashes, and there's nothing wrong with that, or the tarot card readers, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes people be led by certain spirits. You know what I'm saying? And then that be the whole, you in the conscious community now. So now when I be like, you got to understand, they be like, no, understand, brother, understand. And you be like, oh, good morning, sister. No, 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 no. It's not good morning. That is a curse. I read what you read. I read everything you read. I read everything you read. I just say things for layman's terms. I say a lot of things, even when I say God, it's for layman's terms. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sound too esoterical when you get into the grand rising or understand, overstand. It's the same shit because it's all a curse. We still United States citizens with a birth certificate and a driver's license, and we still pay taxes for bombs that's being dropped on people that we don't agree upon. So you still under the curse. I don't care if you say understand, overstand, or grand rising. You still under the curse. Everything is a spell. Your last name is a spell. Jack's son, son of Jack. Peter's son, son of Peter. You're still under the curse. What are you talking about? When you get pulled over and they say license and registration, you go dig and get that license and registration. Why you don't turn to that cop and say, I don't stand under your authority. But you get on YouTube, right, or any social media platform, they want to understand. And, oh, brother, I don't understand. I understand or I overstand. Tell that to the cop when he asks you for your birth, for your driver's license and your license and registration, since you're not under their jurisdiction. You are. So if I talk how I talk, I'm not talking how I talk because I don't know what you know. I'm just talking how you talk because it's too much. It's all word semantics. I don't like to get into word semantics because at the root of everything is just something somebody learned from somebody else. What comes from your spirit? I don't want to know what you read. I read a lot of shit too. It ain't about what you read. What comes from your spirit? What resonates in your soul? You know what resonates in your soul, y'all? I'm going to tell y'all what resonates in y'all soul. I'm going to tell y'all. You know what resonates in y'all soul? Getting up every day, going to work, paying bills, paying rent. I know y'all feel like, why the hell am I paying rent? I know I have to pay rent, but damn, I'm paying my landlord money just to live. Water tax. Why am I paying? Why am my water tax went up? Why the hell am I paying for water anyway? Insurance, the this and the that and the this. So yeah, you're now behind on this. What the hell is all of this? What is all of this? All I'm doing is working to pay insurance, taxes, this tax, that tax. You tax the dollar, the tax the dollar, the tax the dollar, the tax the dollar, and I'm working till I'm 65 and I'm too old to really enjoy my life, hoping that my pension is being there, and I'm hoping these things. That shit don't resonate with you. It don't, because that's not what you're supposed to be doing. You supposed to, when you got your day off, you know how you feel on your day off? That's how you're supposed to feel every day. What do I want to do today? I want to go get my grandbaby. Let me go get my grandbaby and teach my grandbaby how to meditate. Teach my grandbaby how to make this ball roll. You be seeing them brothers trying to make stuff move on you. Let me see if I can get my grandbaby to do that. Because this baby's smart. This baby turned my phone on. I want to get this baby to be able to pull the cancer out of me in case my spirit gets so weak that I can't do it. So let me go get my grandbaby. And for the next 3 days, I'm going to show my grandbaby what chakras are. I'm going to tell my grandbaby that they are a God and they have a connection to the all in all. I'm going to nurture my grandbaby's or my baby's imagination, Because if I nurture my grandbaby's imagination, they're gonna resonate with the all in all, and my grandbaby gonna be able to do great things. My grandbaby may not be able to have to eat 7 days a week. So if the lights don't come on tomorrow, we don't have to worry about having a farm that they're gonna take. Because I used to be like, oh, I want to get a farm so my family can have a farm. If everything shut down, they're gonna take the farm anyway, right? So I want to make sure my grandbaby don't have to eat 7 days a week. I want to make sure my grandbaby's vibrating so high that it can manipulate time, space, and matter and become Neo in this matrix. But you have the time to do that because you got all day. Oh, tomorrow, you know how it is when you got to go to work. You had your day off, and then as soon as it start getting late, you like, damn, I got to go back to work tomorrow. I know that don't feel natural because it's not. I know it don't. I know it don't because it's not. So if you don't believe you can walk through a wall, if you don't believe you can heal yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually, if you don't believe that the all in all creator's in you and you could tell them the all in all what you're doing and it's going to assist you because it realizes that you're conscious and you're leading your consciousness right back to it. If you don't believe that, then you're going to be working till you're 65 or older if you're lucky. You're not going to be able to take care of yourself and your family and do what you want to do every day, all day. I took a leap of faith. I worked for 3 years. I worked 78 hours one week, 78. The day I got injured at my job, I worked 17 hours when I got injured at my job. I worked 17 hours, went home, rested for 4 hours, and then went back and worked 23 hours straight. I worked 78 hours one particular week. I averaged 68 hours when I got injured. Can you imagine averaging 68 hours? Then how much you have to work when you only supposed to be getting 40 hours? If something happened at your job and you go get workers' comp and then they turn around and tell you that you averaged 68 hours, then how much did you actually have to work for that whole year in order to get that? That's how much I worked. But you know what? I took a leap of faith. And I knew for a fact that I was going to be able to take care of my family, and it wasn't going to be at the risk, the cost of 8 hours of my life every day until I'm old and gray. Because I came home at 43, y'all. My pension, I'll be 80 by the time I get a pension. I know I have to do something else down here. And I've been doing it. And the people around me, I just spoke to a friend of mine just earlier, was like, man, you did everything you said you was going to do. Yeah, because I was adamant about what I was saying. I knew what I was here. I know what I'm here to do. And it ain't to be punching nobody's clock or sitting in nobody's church hoping that somebody's going to come later on down the road and save me while I'm physically existing right here. Non-cipher. Am I familiar with Max Major? Nah, I don't know who Max Major is. I'm doing the same thing that is beneficial to everyone. My bad, y'all, for not reading the comments. I've been going a little fast. When I start going in like that, I'll be missing it. But I'm trying to catch up now. I hope it's not a YouTube influencer. What do you mean? Yeah, but you definitely can't talk through a wall. You definitely can't walk through a wall. Are you saying you have? No, I'm not saying I have physically walked through a wall. Physically with myself, with my conscious mind, in my physical body, that I vibrate so high that the atoms in my body shifted my molecular structure or shifted the molecular structure of the wall to where I physically walked through the wall. Have I done that? No, I didn't. No. But I can because I know what it takes to do that. I can because I know what it takes to do that. But I'm going to tell you what I did do. And I didn't even do it consciously. I astral projected twice. And the reason why I believe I could walk through a wall is because I astral projected. See, when we start saying certain things, if it's in you and it's for you, then the all in all, the ineffable one, the source and the force, if you are a chosen one, if you are a child of the proverbial Israel, if you are of that lineage, then the universe is going to send you signs to show you who you are. So yes, I haven't physically walked through a wall, but I'm going to tell you, I was in solitary confinement. I had a dream. I was 19. This was one of my first bids. And I had a dream that my baby mother was having sexual relations with another man, right? And we had one of those closets. You know those closets that got the slits in the closets? I forgot what they call those doors. I think they're Venetian. You know them French doors? I don't remember. But you know the wood doors that got the slits in it? Well, she had a closet that has one of those that has slits in it, right? So I had a dream that I was stuck in the closet and my baby mother was having sex with a male and I'm stuck in the closet. I was trying to open the door, but she was in there doing what she was doing, right? I'm in solitary confinement. So the next morning, it felt so real. This is not the first time. I had 3 actual astral projections. So I wake up in the morning, I cover my window, I create a ruckus to get the COs to come to my cell, and I told the COs that if they don't let me use the phone, I'm going to unalive myself because I don't remember, I think I probably said my mother, God forgive me. I probably said somebody in my family was dying and I need to make a phone call. If they didn't give me the phone call, I was going to unalive myself, right? I tore up, I cut up. They let me make the phone call. I get on the phone. They all sitting right there. They want to, you know, I called my baby mother. She like, hello? I was like, you fucking somebody. I know you fucking somebody. I know I'm up here talking these ways, but I'm telling you, I was a straight street nigga. Straight street nigga. I call and I'm fussing. I know you was fucking somebody. I saw it. I had a dream. This is the very next morning. She was like, what's wrong with you, boy? The counselors, they grab the phone. They take the phone from me. They tackle me. I'm wrestling with them, trying to get to the phone, right? They handcuffed me, threw me back, threw my young behind back in my cell, y'all. I probably was like 18 or 19. They threw my young behind back in the cell. Years later, now, this is probably like 98, 97, 98, right? Years later, 2006 or 7 or 8, one of them years, 2006, 7 or 8, almost, what's that? 10 years later, almost 10 years later, I'm with my baby mom. I can't remember what we was talking about, but I was telling her son, she was like, you always think you psychic. She was like, but I ain't gonna lie, you do be fake right about some stuff. She was like, remember that time you called me from jail that morning? Called me fussing and cussing that morning? And I was like, yeah, wow. Now we cool. We ain't together or nothing. Now we got like a, you know, friendship more than a relationship now. She was like, you want to know something? I was like, what? She was like, that was the first night I slept with so-and-so. And he was there when you called, I had to sneak out because I called twice. I called back. She didn't pick up. I called back. She was like, I was going to ignore it. But I got out the bed. I went in the bathroom and I answered for you. And she was like, that was the first night I had relationships with him. I saw it. You could tell me I just had a dream. You could say whatever you want to say. But as I begin to read, as I read the Urantia book and I read the book of Ramtha and I begin to read things, right? That's because you... See, with me, this is why I'm saying with religion and all that. I read most of it. I did a lot of studying, but outside of my studying, the all in all, the universe has a hand on me. So it shows me things. I go through things, and I don't just regurgitate something that I read. I go through what I was going through, and as I begin to learn and study, pray, meditate, and get the spirit of discernment, I started to realize what was going on. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I jumped on here one day, just turned it on and went from 1,000 views to 40,000 views at a time. It's not because I'm the smartest person. It's not because I'm the most handsomest or funniest or articulate. It's not. It's because I'm resonating with those who this resonates with. It's a life. Even though all in all has his hand on you or it doesn't. So did I physically walk through a wall? No. But I was 1,000 miles away. My spirit went because I had a connection to this woman because sex is one of the most spiritualist things you could do down here on the 3rd dimension. So because I had a connection with this woman, my spirit was with her and my spirit went and I learned about closets and under the beds. These are actually gateways. This is why in the movie Monster Inc. with the little cartoon characters, where did they come through, y'all? The closet. Where do the monsters come from? Under the bed. Because those are portals. Physical portals into other dimensions. Just like a room could be a dimension, right? A mother and a father could be in one bedroom, and a brother and sister could be in another bedroom, and the mother and father could be in love in this bedroom, but in the same house, in the other bedroom, the daughter's getting molested by the brother for years. So her part of the house is horrible. It's fearful. It's frightful. It's actually hell. But the parents' room is heaven. So for years, they're in 2 different dimensions in the same house. But I ain't gonna get into all of that. So what I'm saying is I walked through a wall. So there you go. Have I ever walked through a wall? No. We can do it physically, but I've done it spiritually. Many a times. I've done it 3 times. I've astral projected 3 times where I know that I wasn't just dreaming. And all 3 times I was given confirmation that I wasn't dreaming. And I didn't go looking for it because I thought I just had a dream. Something to tell me, I'd be like, oh shit, I wasn't dreaming. That actually did happen. That's walking through a wall. Yeah, that's walking through a wall. But can I physically do it? Yes, we physically can. Pillars are gateways, yes. That's why a lot of the state buildings and a lot of these capitals and a lot of these ritualistic places have the pillars. The pillars is Jacob, and Boaz or Boaz. Those are the two pillars. Light, dark, positive, negative, feminine, masculine. In between the pillars is reality. That's why you have the checkerboard floors in the Masonic temple. It's duality, light, dark, positive, negative. We are in the middle of duality. We are spiritual, but we're here in the physical. That is duality. That's duality, y'all. We could do a bunch of wondrous things. So that's why I don't go back and forth. If you don't believe you can walk through a wall, you'll never walk through a wall. How can I tell you that? I can't tell you that. You walk through a wall every night when you sleep. You walk through a wall. You astral projected too. You just didn't have confirmation on what you were seeing. I have dreams that I'll be flying. Come on, y'all. Everybody in my chat, tap my screen. All y'all who fly, that's why y'all here, because y'all fly. Y'all fly like I fly. I fly in my dreams. All y'all who fly in the dreams, hit the likes. I know y'all fly in y'all dreams because I fly in my dream. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. We're a little closer to the all in all. We not these physical specimens that just believe that something's, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all flying y'all dreams. That's who I'm talking to. If you never flown in your dreams, get off this channel. You ain't in the right dream. You ain't in the right. This ain't for you. This ain't for you. Yeah, they are both, yeah, duality. They both two sides of the same coin, y'all. That's why you got the heart in the middle. We got the feminine energy. We got the masculine energy. Light, dark, positive, negative. Physical, spiritual. We're in the middle. Yeah, I fly in my dreams, man. Man, in my dream, let me tell y'all something too. Being a hood dude, right, and involved with a lot of street stuff, right? I would have a dream that I'd be on my block and people will come to unalive me and I'll start running and they'll start, pew-pewing at me. And I'm telling y'all, this is crazy. I'm so conscious in my dream that I could fly no matter what's happening in my dreams. It's not a flying, because sometimes I have flying dreams. I have dreams where I'm just flying. I have dreams where, the Avatar movie, I swear, before the Avatar, Pangea is the name of the planet in Avatar. Before I saw the Avatar movie, I used to fly over something like Pangea. I used to fly over something that had floating mountains, floating islands, water. I flew by something that was a piece of land that was flying in the air that had a waterfall, and that waterfall fell. The waterfall was flowing to another part of another floating thing. And I saw trees that was this color, and you could see the veins of the tree going into the earth. I saw Pangea before Avatar came out. I had those dreams when I was in the box back in like 98, 99. Avatar never even came out. And I saw the Avatar planet without the Avatar movie. I done flew places where it was no place to land. And I'm flying looking for a place to land, but there's no place to land. And I just keep flying and I find myself getting weak. And as I'm getting weak and I'm about to fall, I'll wake up. But a lot of my dreams, when I'm having a regular dream, let's say it's not about flying, I don't got no wings or nothing, and I'm dreaming I'm on a block, and the enemies or the ops jump out, and I might run in the building, they trying to pew me, and they're chasing me up to the top floor, and I get to the top floor, and they're coming out the building. I've been flying for so long in my dreams that I'll just fly. I know I can fly. I'll be like, let me just get to the building and I can fly away. Or the police would be chasing me and I'll be like, let me just get out the building so my wings can spread. Once I get out the building, I'm going to fly. As soon as I get out the building, I'm going to fly. And I swear to y'all, my dreams is like that. I have dreams with just flying, but every now and again, I have a regular dream about regular shit. And when harm come, I'll be like, oh, time to get out of here. I'm not making this up. And I feel myself, and y'all do too. I feel myself flying. I feel my wings. I feel my body being propelled by the wings. I feel the actual workout of the wings. And there's been times where, y'all know too, when your wings is heavy, like you're trying to fly, but your wings are too heavy to fly, and you get caught or whatever the case may be because your wings are too heavy. I've had those dreams. So I already know. I already know. And that's who I'm speaking to. That's who I'm speaking to. That's the only reason why I believe in angels with wings. Because before I'd have just thought that it was an artistic expression. But now I believe in angels with wings because I be having wings. I be having wings. Okay, skydivers, that's close as I've been to flying. Nah, I'm not saying that I actually did it in my conscious mind, but I believe that's my soul. You know, saying that's my I leave my body. I just have that tether. You know, you have that silver cord. The silver cord just keeps me. I be able to come back. You know, that's the spirit. That's us and our spirit moving. We're spiritual beings, man. We're powerful, man. We're powerful. We're My grandmother, she wasn't no psychic or nothing. My grandmother used to could tell which one of us was walking by her. She'll have her door closed. It's 6 boys in the house, 5 and 6 boys. She used to could tell which one was walking by her door. She'll call your name. Go grab me a cup of water out the freezer, boy. Go grab me something this out the kitchen. Or come in here and pull my shoes off. She knew. She knew which one was which. Women's intuition. We're spiritual beings having a physical experience, man. But we don't know who he is. We don't know our power. You know what I'm saying? We don't know our power. We don't know we can heal cancer. We don't got to go through cancer. We don't know that. We don't know we don't need to eat 4 or 5 times a day. We don't know that. We don't know that. Because we're giving so much of our life force to this system, feeding and working and having to do things. But we don't even have to do that, y'all. I sold drugs my whole life and been in and out of prison, and I'm not justifying it. I'm not. It takes discipline to go get a job. You know what I'm saying? But it just didn't feel right with me. I always wanted to work at my own pace. I always wanted to work at my own time. Always wanted to be in control of my own destiny. I never felt right being trapped and confined. And then when they grabbed me and put me in jail, now I'm forced to be trapped and confined. And even in those trapped and confines, right? Every time I went to jail, I would want to go to the box. I would always go to the box. I didn't want to be in population. I'd rather been by myself and pray, study, and meditate, because even when I was locked up, I felt more free being in solitary confinement. As weird as it sounds, I felt more free being by myself. That's why out of the 18 years, I did 8 or 9 of them in solitary confinement. I'd rather been in the box by myself than to be with the rest of the herd. I did. Because when you do what you learn is when you in jail, and they got a thing called recreation. And if you know people in jail, the grown men, when they say rec, them boys is happy, just like kids, to go outside and play. And they so happy to go outside and play every day. Rec, everybody running to go outside and play. They might do it every day straight for a month straight, and then the one day they say, "Oh, it ain't no rec today." Man, it breaks these brothers' soul. They're like, "Oh, we can't go. Man, what's going on? Oh, we want to." You gotta. They be just like kids. They be just like kids. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So they become a slave to the system to be able to go outside and play. Or they're a slave to the TV. So the day the CEO get mad and cut the TV off, now they can't sit in front of the TV and watch LeBron James. So now they walking around moping and mad. Oh, I'm gonna tell so-and-so. Oh, I hate when he work here. And it ruins their whole day because they can't go outside and play, or because they can't watch TV. I wasn't like that. I go in my cell and read a book. I don't care. I don't watch TV anyway. When they say, "Oh, it ain't no recreation," I be like, "Oh shit, fine with me." Or, "Oh, lockdown. We've been on lockdown for 2 months. Man, these dudes get out the cell. They couldn't believe it. Oh, man, I thought I was gonna die in there." That shit don't mean nothing to me because I'm actually free. I'm in there reading. I'm in there studying or sleeping. I used to go to sleep at the drop of a hat because I ain't supposed to be here. That's why I used to. He's like, "Yo, Bucks, how you sleep so much, bro?" Because I ain't supposed to be here. I be in the spirit. That's the closest thing to spirit. Is sleep. Yo, how you can sleep so much? If I lay down right now, y'all go to sleep. If I lay down, I'm going to sleep. When people are like, "I can't sleep," if I lay down, if I sit there long enough, give me an hour. I don't care if I just slept 8 hours, y'all. If I get up, walk around a little bit, and lay back down, if I lay there for about an hour or 2, I'm going to end up falling right back to sleep. I'm more comfortable in the spirit. I'm more uncomfortable with being by myself. So I already know I don't belong here. So when you try to indoctrinate me with some new shit, it's not in my spirit. I'm an old soul, a real old soul. I'm not saying that to sound cool. That's like a nigga who been in the first grade 30 times. You know? So when you say old soul, people think like you're making like this big thing about yourself, saying like, "Oh, I'm an old soul. You're a new soul." Nah, it's like a dude who been in the fourth grade. You in the 4th grade? How? Oh, I'm 16. Well, you still in the 4th grade. You supposed to be graduating high school. I've been here mad times already. So as the days go by, you get you be unenthused. You're unimpressed. I'm down here. I'm unimpressed. LeBron James can walk through the door. I'm unimpressed. For real. Unless he tell me he's going to give me a couple $1,000,000 for my family. So now I have the time to teach my nieces, nephews, my children what I want to teach them. Now I got the time and energy. So I'll be excited about that. But just to see him, who gives a hell? Who gives a... You think I care about LeBron James? You name them. I don't care about none of them people. Who are they? They ain't no different from me and you. They just got money. I'm dead serious. The only way one of them could get me excited if they walk through the door and say, yo, brother, I'm going to give you $3 million. And the only reason why I'm excited about that is because now I got the time and energy to do what I need to do, and I could give my family some physical stuff because now they're going to listen. That's what it's for. Now they're going to listen. Now I got $3 million. I got some money now. Now they're going to listen. You know what I'm saying? For real. Now they're going to listen. My nieces and nephews, because people don't listen until they listening. If that makes any sense. That's why I like being on here, because I'm talking all this to y'all. 90% of my family don't even know I know the shit that I know. They tuning in now. A lot of people tuning in now. I'm blowing people's minds. People calling my phone like, why you never said? Why I never knew? Because it's not for everybody. Everybody is not for everybody. And I'm not here to teach and preach. I'm only here for those who are vibrating like that. And I know my family, and I know the people that I know, they're not ready. Those who are not ready, they're just not ready. So I'm not here to indoctrinate nobody. It has to be in you, not on you. You have to be already ready for it. If I knew, I would have knew already, because I'm a student of life. I pay attention. I listen. I know you're not ready. So why am I going to tell you about what you're not ready for? I'm not impulsive like that. I'm not that type of person, and I don't like to act like I know more than another person, because that's just that soul's journey. It might have knew more physical than me in another lifetime, but it makes me more accountable, because if I know all I know, then I should be doing more than I'm doing, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Because people start to tend to watch you. Then when you tell people spiritual things, right? If you tell somebody they got a demon attached to them and you show them how to remove that demon, this is what I learned with these higher vibrational conversations. Is either people run to you or they run from you. Those who run to you is because it resonates with them. So they want to be in your company and still sharpen still. Y'all vibrate with each other, right? Or they run far away from you because whatever's attached to them, the spirit of laziness has a hold of that person. So as you telling them they have a spirit of laziness, that spirit is telling them that I'm lying, that I'm trying to manipulate them, or I'm trying to do something. So they're going to run. They're going to stay away from you. And they think that it's them, but really it's the spirit of laziness that's going to keep them away from you. Or the spirit of lust, or the spirit of anger. They're going to get mad. You know what I'm saying? Or the spirit of lust is going to make, if it's a woman, try to make her come on to you sexually. And then if I'm weak and I have sex with her, they're going to be like, see, he talk all that spiritual stuff. All he wanted was some girl. I told you that's all he wanted. And then I mess up the whole relationship because I was weak. Whatever the spirit is going to do what that spirit is doing. And 9 times out of 10, that person is going to flee from you anyway. So if they're not ready, it's no need for me to tell them or try to talk to them or tell them what I know. Y'all understand? I sit around family members that's into the church and they see me with the Bible and they say to themselves like, man, when you go to church, why don't you come to Bible study? They want me to go against the religious teachers because they know that I know the Bible a little bit. And I'll be like, I'm not here to do that. There's nothing in that. I didn't learn the Bible to do that. I learned it because I wanted to learn and I was in search of God. And once I found out that God was within me, once I found out, I didn't feel the need to go battle or show somebody what I know, because they're just going to watch you more. And I know that I'm fleshly. I know that I might slip. You know what I mean? You learned it so you can rebel against it. And that's what happens. People begin to judge you. They're not really ready for it. Like I give the analogy of even when I didn't eat meat, right? When I didn't eat pork, I didn't eat pork for 27 years. I just ate pork in 2022. I stopped eating pork in 95, and then I ate pork for the first time in 2022, right? And I just stopped eating it again. But just for an example, when I didn't eat pork, if somebody didn't try to serve me pork, I wasn't one of the people that was just want to be on a pedestal and be like, oh, I don't eat pork. You know, I wouldn't say nothing. If you was eating a pork chop right next to me, be like, oh, this pork chop is good. Damn, I love a pork chop. I'd be like, yeah, it look good. Because it do. I remember how it tastes. Do I eat it now? No, but I remember how it tastes. So most people would be about, oh, I don't eat pork. They want to act like they holier than thou or they better than you, right? I was never one of them people, so I'm not going to tell you I don't eat pork. I'm going to just say, yeah, it do look good. Now, if you offer it to me, I'm going to just say no. When I didn't eat red meat for 7 years, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to wait to go telling people, oh, I don't eat red meat. I was a vegan for 1 year. When I was a vegan, my family didn't know that I was a vegan. I just started being a vegan because I didn't want to be like, oh, I don't eat. Why you stop eating? You got to explain yourself. Now they're going to start watching you and trying to critique you and all of that. It's not important. That's between me and my relationship with the all in all, or my vibration, or my body. You know what I'm saying? I keep it to myself. So it's the same thing with the things that I know or the things that's in my spirit. It's the same thing. I'm not going to go around and be like, yo, this is what I know. Do you know this or do you know that? I'm too old for that, man. I done been 18 years in prison sitting around in what they call a cipher where all the religious doctrines are going back and forth and we trying to see who know the most. Oh, did you read this book? That's why I read so much, because they'll say if you read it, and I got to go read it because I ain't read it. And then I used to want to be able to say I read it. So I'm reading so much stuff. So when everybody could say what you read, you could be like, yeah, I read that. I read that too. I read that. I read that too. And that's what be on here. A lot of people want to come up here and talk about what they read. I don't care about what they read. What have you done? Forget about what you read. What have you done? What have you done in the spiritual realm? What have you done to manipulate time, space, and matter? What have you done to heal physically, mentally, and spiritually yourself and others? What have you done down here? It's not about what you read. And that's what a lot of these thinkers want to do. They want to come tell you what they read. You could be young Pharaoh, and as I watched young Pharaoh articulate everything that he articulated, you know what he never articulated? Healing. He never told nobody how to cast out a demon. He never told nobody how to really heal themselves physically, mentally, and spiritually. He just had a lot of rhetoric. And that's why his spirit became weak and they was able to send a spirit on him. And that's why he's in the state he's in now, because he didn't have no protection. All he did was read a bunch of stuff. You understand what I'm saying, y'all? All he did was read a bunch of stuff. So he had no protection. We are human beings, not humans doing. That is a fact. You still on live. Jesus, take the wheel. Malika, Jesus did take the wheel. I'm telling you, that's why I be going how I be going. You think I be knowing what I'm going to say when I get on here? Sometimes I don't. Most times I don't. It just be happening. It just be happening, y'all. Jesus do take the wheel. More aggressive. I don't even know if y'all talking to me or y'all talking to each other. But yeah, I do ask Jesus to take the wheel all the time, y'all. All the time. This don't be me. Yeah, Bam, I know that. I know that. I know Jesus is J and Jesus could be Zeus and Yahshua, Yahweh, Isa. I know everything y'all saying. I read it 1,001 times. I try not to get into word semantics. But even when people say that about a serial killer, even when people say that about Jesus, right, in the name, Jesus is a vibration. So if the things that are attributed it to Yahshua, Yahweh, or Isa, or Jesus, or Emmanuel, E-man, God, U-L, right? Even if these things are attributed to him, and you know him as Jesus, but his name is Isa, because you believe, because you're vibrating, if you're praying and meditating and using that name consistently, they know, whoever the day is, the all in all, the ineffable one, the universe, they know who you talking to. But best than believe that. They know who you talking to. That's like when you call a doctor's office and you don't know, they be like, if you know your extensions, your line extension, stay on the line. You might not know the person's extension, but you know you stay on the line, you're going to get to the person. They know that. How could God be God if God knew that you wasn't going to know the name? You're going to call him Jesus instead of Isa. You're not a Muslim, so you're not going to call him Isa. You don't know Aramaic or you don't know Hebrew, so you're not going to call him Yahshua, Yahweh. You understand what I'm saying? You in America, in the wilderness of America. So you call him Jesus because that's what you were taught. They know who you talking to. Is it more powerful to know these deities and entities' actual name? Yeah, there's power in it, but you know what's more powerful than that? What you believe. That's what it all boils down to, is what you believe. Eminem Beasley, what up, Sleeves? What about the image that is attached to it? No images. The Bible says to attach no images to the all in all, because they're talking about a God. That's my belief, is that is a God's law. When that God say don't attach nothing to me, that's a God speaking about what that particular God is talking about. There's a multitude of gods in this book. There's a multitude of gods. There's a multitude of gods. The God that Jesus said he is, the God that he came from, is not the same God of Moses. Moses was upon a different kind of God. Moses was actually in communication with several gods. It'll tell you that in the Bible. It'll tell you that. But people, because of dogma and religious belief systems, they don't understand or understand what they're actually reading when it tells you. Abraham was talking to a multitude of gods. He sat with God, he ate with God, and then two gods went to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm just saying. When Moses was freeing the people out of freeing the children of Israel, when they was in the wilderness, when they was in the desert for 40 years, or the wilderness for 40 years, he spoke to several different gods. Why you think he didn't make it into the promised land? He didn't make it in. He did not make it into the promised land because he unalived the Egyptian. That's not why it was. That God said, because you didn't give me the praise when he struck the rock and water poured from the rock. But he did praise God, but he didn't praise that God. So that God unalived him and then allowed him to cross over into the promised land. And then Joshua took over. If you believe the story, that's because there was more than one God. There's a bunch of them in there. And what religion do is say those wasn't the real gods, those wasn't this God, or this wasn't that God, right? They'll say, oh, they was praying to graven images and statues and stuff, right? But there's times where God said, the God of the Philistines handed them over that land, but I'm telling you, I'm going to take that land and hand it over to you. So if God is saying that the God of the Philistines handed them over that land, then that means that the God of the Philistines actually has some kind of power if he handed the land over to the Philistines or to the Canaanites. So that means that God did actually have some power. So there's times where the religious people, the three Abrahamic belief systems, where their dogma shows them that the other gods have no power, but then in scripture, that God would say that other God does have some power. You know why? Because they're all gods. They're all different gods. And then they all, as a bunch of gods. Let us go down and make man in our image. No, let us make man in our image. And then said, let us go down and what? Change their language and spread them all over the place because they think they're going to reach heaven. How God going to reach a heaven, y'all? How is they ever going to reach the heaven, y'all? Why did God have to go down? Y'all listening? God said, let us go down and confuse their language, lest they make it to heaven. This is the God that they praise. That God need to come from here to go here. My God don't got to come from here to go here. My God is everywhere. My God don't have to come down. My God is here. It's in us. It's us is them. If and I'm saying God for lack of a better term. But the all in all don't have to go down. If the all in all wanted to change their heart and their mind, it would just say be, and it would be. Be. They forget. It don't have to go down. Only he had to go down and change their languages, lest they make it to heaven. Man has become smart like us. I'm just saying. Come on, Anthony. You know what's going on. Come on, bro. You know what's up. You know what's up. Come on. Let us go down. My God don't got to go down. The all in all don't got to do that. The all in all ain't jealous. The all in all ain't that. That is Adam and Eve, where you at? Why did you take from the tree that I told you not to, that I knew you was going to take from? Who told you? The person that I allowed to be in the garden with you to do what I already knew it was going to do. And then the land get corrupted, and I say, you know what? I can't wrestle with the spirit of man no more. I'm gonna flood this whole joint. And then floods it and says, I regretted even making man. That's their God, y'all. A God that made man and then regret making man and then say, you know what? I'm not gonna flood the earth again to mess up what I write. You think I want to praise a God? He like us. He get mad and he get happy. He get sad. He cool and he ain't. Sound like my grandmother. She be all right 1 minute and 1 minute she want to beat you because you did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. The all in all don't vibrate like that. Jealous, envy, got hands, flew by Moses. God flew by Moses. He said, you can't see me because if you see me, you're going to perish. So I'm going to prop you up on this mountain and I'm going to fly by you so you can see my back. That sound like a nigga in a spaceship to me. That's a nigga in a spaceship. That ain't God. Now, all of the religions going to tell you that that's God. But how did God say, I'm going to pass by you and let you see my back? Your God got a back? But not to shame nobody or nothing like that. That's for them. It's for them. You can't feed a baby steak. That's why Gerber makes so much money. Gerber knew we can't feed a baby steak. So a lot of the Abrahamic religious systems were for those babies. They're babies. So they got to eat Gerber. They can't eat steak. They're not ready for steak. So that's why they have what they have. But at least if they believe in a tenets and do it wholeheartedly, then they'll initially find their way back to the all in all. We, the chosen ones, the ones that are from the Most High, the all in all, we going direct. We got a direct source. We came down. We fallen angels too. Don't get it twisted. As above, so below. Everything is a mimicry of everything. We fell too because we left the all in all because we wanted to come down here and enjoy the physical realm. So we fell too. We came down here. We wanted to come play. If you read the book of Enoch, we was on a mountain of Enoch. We was up on the mountain and we watched the children of Cain. And the children of Cain, it says in the book of Enoch that the children of Cain, it says in the book of Enoch that a spirit came and showed them how to make dyes. A spirit came and showed them how to make earrings. A spirit came and showed them how to make wine. A spirit came and showed them how to tame horses. So they started having horse races. They was having orgies. They was drinking. They was gambling. They was having all the fun in the world. And we was up there, y'all. We the children of Shem, the chosen ones. That's what I believe the children of Israelite is a lineage. It's not a religious group, right? So we sitting up there and we on the mountain. We on the mountain with Enoch. We up there with Methuselah, Lamech. Son wasn't born yet. Noah wasn't born yet. So we up there with the because Noah's the 10th from Adam. He's the 10th from Adam. So we up there with Methuselah. We up there with Lamech. We up there with Jared. Jared is the son of Enoch, the father of Enoch, and we up there with Enoch. So we up there, we on the mountain, and we looking down, and they having fun. They drinking, they partying, they playing music. All of these things that they have, they were given by other fallen angels. This is why the flood was gonna come. So while we was up on the mountain, we was thirsty to go down there, so some of us started leaving. But Enoch told us, he said, for surely I say, if you travel down this mountain, you're not going to be able to come back up here. And it said after time, they begin to lose more. After time, they begin to lose more. Then the flood came. So that's a proverbial. It wasn't a physical mountain, because if it was a physical mountain, why they couldn't come back up? If the Garden of Eden was a physical place, why we can't find it? This could be either a ship. I'm not going to take a solid stance on what it was. We might have been in a ship. The mountain might have been an oversoul, or we might have been in a higher dimension. Either way, we descended. We came down to do what? Party, drink, fornicate, and all the things, have fun. So that's what we came down here for yet again. We came down here to have fun and enjoy ourselves. So you mean to tell me the all in all going to be mad and punish you and all of that for doing what it knew you was going to do? That's like when you drive, you on the highway, y'all going to a destination and y'all kids see an amusement park on the side of the highway. They kids, first thing they're going to say is, oh, we want to go play, we want to go play. You know they want to go play. You know they want to go play. You know they want to go play. Only thing you want to do is make sure they got a safe return. You might say, kids, we ain't got time to go to Great Adventures. We going to Donny Park. When we get to Donny Park, y'all can play. You know what I mean? But if they had their own free will and they could leave, only a human mind or a limited being would get mad because they left. If you're highly vibrational, then you understand that they're gonna leave. They're gonna go play. Right? You have children, you love your children, you raise them up right? Your daughter's gonna go find a husband, and she's gonna love her husband more than she love you. Your daughter's gonna go find a your son is gonna go find a wife, and he gonna love his wife more than you. If you get jealous of their relationship, then you don't understand or understand that their marriage and their union is still you. They're still your soul group. You're still their ancestor. They're doing their bidding. They're supposed to find someone they love more than you. They're gonna find somebody that they love more than you. If you don't understand that, then you're an envious, jealous God who has a limited understanding. That's just the analogy. I just made that up. That just came to me. I ain't even had some of the stuff I say I had on tuck. I ain't even had that one on tuck. That one just came. They say what they call the Holy Spirit. I don't think there were children before the biblical God. Maybe not, because you got to remember too that that makes sense. Because if we was vibrating high, right? Let's just say before the fall or whatever the case may be, babies come from us losing our mental capacity when we're reincarnated. So there are realms and realities where there ain't no babies. There's realms and realities where there ain't no death. Death and being born and having to go through a phase, these stages and phases we go through. Earth is one of them school planets. This is a school planet. This is a washing machine planet. You get cleaned up and then you go to a higher state of being. That's what Earth is. Earth is one of them. This is a baby plate. This is some new shit. This is a new planet. This is a new system. This is the baby. This is a school. They have these all over the galaxies. Some of them are way lower vibrational than us. Just watch your Star Wars, watch Star Trek, watch them. They showing you what's going on. They show you what's going on. We here in Earth, man. We don't know nothing. We think we know shit. We don't know shit, man. We don't know nothing, y'all. We don't know nothing. Only thing I do know is that the all in all is more powerful and more overstanding or understanding than they expect, because it's everything. It's everything. And the reason why I call myself God, because I have a God overstanding or understanding. Do I have a long way to go? Yes. But my overstanding and understanding is I'm right there. When people be like, my daughter asked me a long time ago, she said, well, God, Dad, if there's a God, why God be letting babies die? And I told her something that stuck with her, because years later, she said, I'm starting to believe what you said, Dad. She said, if there's a God, why God let babies die, Dad? And I said, well, do you know what gravity is? She said, yes. I said, well, what's gravity? And she explained, what gravity was. I think she was about 8 or 9. So she explained what gravity was, right? And her understanding of what gravity is was pretty close. I said, well, let's say if somebody called gravity God, right? And we was in New York. I said, you walked off that roof right there and you fell. Did God make you fall or did gravity make you fall? It's like gravity. I said, so gravity is not going to be judgmental. Gravity is not going to say, well, you're a baby, I can't allow you to fall. Gravity is gravity. Gravity it is what it is. I am that I am. It could only be what it is. I said, so what you call God is just like gravity. It's not going to have the same human emotion that we're going to have, or to that baby falling or the baby getting unalive. It's not going to have that. And I said, let me tell you something else, baby. Your dad believes in eternal souls, and your dad believes in reincarnation. So imagine the baby, right? Say the baby fell, right? The baby that you said died. She was like, yeah. I said, well, imagine if that baby had lived 5,000 times. You know how much 5,000 is? You think that's a lot? She said, yeah, it's a lot. I said, so if that baby lived 5,000 times, right? And God knows that that baby lived 5,000 times, and God knows that that baby's going to be born again, why would God feel a way about that baby dying if God knew that that baby was created to die and it's gonna die 1,000 times? It's not gonna have the same emotions and feelings that we have towards that baby dying. It's not. It's a part of the life that that baby chose. That baby chose to be physical, so that baby's going to have a physical death. It knows that. The all in all. Only a God would feel that way. Only a God. The all in all is not a God. The all in all is everything. It knows that it's just another version of itself having an experience within itself. So how could it be jealous of itself or mad at itself or judge itself? Only the things that's within it. Is there a good God? Yeah. Is there ultimately a bad God? As I see these two dualities, yeah, of course there is. But that's not the all in all. Those are the things that spawn from the all in all. Whether you call it Yazabath or you call it Sophia, whether you call it wisdom or spirit or you call it matter. That's all it is. Oh, Zoe? Yeah, Zoe. Zoe. There you go. Zoe. Yeah, when I heard you say the devil never got cast down, I kind of believe it a few lies back, because he isn't an instrument to be better than yourself. Whatever we call the devil and all of those allegories are actually true, but as above, so below, y'all. Some got cast down, but it wasn't cast down by the all in all ineffable one. The all in all, it is what it is. If you believe the story of Satan or the devil being cast down, that could be Inky or Enlil. I forgot which one. I think it's Inky. They say Inky was forced to stay here because Inky taught men what he taught men in the Garden of Eden. So that was a cast down. Or it could be the proverbial, God, Yahweh, or Jehovah casting down his highest angel because his highest angel came and enlightened men. Or it could be a space alien race of people who one came down here and gave us knowledge and it was cast down. It's Prometheus was kicked out of the pantheon of Zeus and them because Prometheus came and gave man fire. What was fire? Fire was, we use fire to do everything. Fire could also represent illumination, which is knowledge. So Prometheus was cast down. These stories go on and on and on. Hermes, it goes on and on and on, y'all. Them stories of things being cast down is basically a fallen one. A fallen one could be an angel, meaning a spiritual angel. A fallen one can be an alien that was amongst his group and he did some shit he wasn't supposed to do, so he was left here. Being cast down could be a fallen from the higher dimensions because we became enmeshed in matter and we did something on a higher dimension that we fell to a lower dimension. Or cast down could be us leaving the all in all ineffable one, coming down to matter, to play in matter, whether it's Earth, whether it's Mars, whether it's Venus, whether it's Alpha Draconis or Sirius Star B or wherever. It's us coming into physical matter. That's cast down. As above, so below. There's everything that we read an allegory, and there's so much shit going on, y'all. It's a lot, a whole lot. Only thing you do know is that you are the all in all, and the all in all is in you, and you are in it. And you are God down here on this realm in reality. And you create your own reality, y'all. You do. And I'm saying all this as I still fight with myself every day to be God. As I fight with myself every day to get rid of fear. As I fight with myself every day to be filled with more love and more light. And to get rid of the ego, the anger, the lust. Every day I fight. Every day I meditate. Every day. Every day, y'all. Every day. We must remain vigilant at all times. Hold on. Call on Jesus. Yeah, I have. I don't know how long you've been here, but I have. That's why I use that name. It is a joy to have discipline. To fight is a discipline. Because if you're not fighting, right, people believe that if you're disciplined, you ain't going to be in a fight. As long as you in the flesh and you're in sin, which is the flesh, which was what Christ came down here to defeat, because he overstood or understood that we decided to come down here and be fleshly, and he came down here to show us that we have eternal life and that we are eternal light. Whenever we are in the flesh One must remain vigilant because you're always going to be in a battle. Always. Always. Even hungry is a battle. Hungry is being hungry. Even hunger. Oh, I'm hungry. You hungry because you decided to take on this flesh. Now you got to feed this fleshly body. When the word of man and the word of God and that life force and energy should be your breath and be able to feed you. We wouldn't even have to eat if we was vibrating high. We only have to eat because we became physical. We only have to sleep because we became physical. So you're going to always be in a fight. You fight off your sleep. You fight off hunger. You're going to fight off thoughts to keep vibrating high. You understand what I'm saying? If your wife or your husband is not vibrating high, or then if they don't believe in Yahshua Yahweh and his teachings and his Christ-like consciousness, then your attacks are going to come through him or her. If your children don't, it's going to come through him or her. Yeah, you eating right now? I ain't eat all day today. I'm going to eat, but I ain't ate yet. I've been fighting, y'all. I've been fighting. I ate a hamburger like a week and some change ago, and I made my mind up that it was over. I'm going back. And y'all who been here, y'all know I didn't eat red meat for 7 years. I didn't eat pork for 27 years. And I was a vegan and ain't eat no meat for 1 year. So I know I'm capable, but at 47 years old, it's over. It's over. I'm done. I'll never eat another burger day in my life. I'm not eating no more chicken patties. The only thing I had in the last 10 days that was fleshly was I had some tuna fish. I did have some tuna fish with like 3 pieces of bread, but I didn't put no cheese on it. I ain't put no salt. I put a little bit of mayonnaise. Other than that, I just been drinking. I've been drinking smoothies. I've been mixing protein shakes in it. You know what I'm saying? But and I'm not trying to sound holier than thou or none of that. But I'm getting up there in age, and if I'm not meditating as much as I should be to clean out my cholesterol, to lower my blood pressure, I haven't been meditating as much as I should be. So the only thing I can do is stop putting certain things into my body. And if my mind keep clicking to anger or pride or ego, then I got to start believing that it might be the things that I'm eating. I'm start believing that it might be parasites, that it might be parasitic. Parasites is the same as evil spirits and demons. They're the same. It's something foreign from your body that can manipulate or deal with your consciousness or lower your vibrations. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm doing the best I can and I'm being vigilant and things are still not working outside of my prayers and meditations, then it got to be the food. So I'm going to try this. That's what you do. When you start seeing, it's like a mechanic. If when they think something is wrong, they see, well, let me see if it's this. Well, let me run this. When something, you got to run checks. So now I'm running a check. And I'm going to tell you what, since I've been just drinking and eating, because I've been vegan before, so I know the feeling. So that's how I know to do these things. So now I'm doing it again. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just stick with it. Will I ever eat pork or beef again? Probably. But if I do, it'll be like, once a year, once every 6 months. And I'll be vibrating so high that whatever, if I do decide to weaken myself to indulge in flesh, right? Let that be your only sin. Let your only sin be eating a piece of pork chop or a piece of fried chicken every 3 years or every 2 years or every 6 months. Let that be your sin. Let that be your only sin. You know what I'm saying? Let that be your only sin. And when you vibrating high, stay away from red. Yeah, it was the burger. The burger's what did it to me. The red meat. Stay away from the red meat. You right. It was that burger, man. I ate a burger. I was on live. I pulled out a burger one morning, and then when I got off of live at like 2 o'clock, the burger was still sitting on the cabinet, on the counter. So you can't put it back in the freezer now. So I was like, man, let me just. And I was hungry. I didn't eat that whole day. So, and I forgot about it. I was up here going in on my tangent, and I forgot about it. And I got off alive, and the burger was sitting up there. So I grabbed the burgers and I made it. And I put the works on it. I put the cheese, I put onions, mayonnaise, ketchup, lettuce, tomatoes, and I use regular bread. I'm a hood. I like the regular bread. I make it like I used to make it when I was a kid. And I ate like 2 of them. Man, the next day, I felt terrible, man. I was drained. I felt sluggish. I was like, never again. So that's what I did. After that day, I was feeling funny. I didn't feel good after doing it. So that's what I did, y'all. I went to the market. I brought a bunch of fruits, vegetables, and I've been drinking smoothies ever since. That was probably about over a week ago, probably about 10 days now. I think I ate some tuna fish over the weekend. No, I had tuna fish like Monday or Tuesday. But that tuna fish was the first thing, like actual like meat that I ate. I ate a can of tuna fish. I ate 3 cans of tuna fish actually. But and I only put a little bit of mayonnaise. Normally I'd have put a bunch of mayonnaise, salt, pepper. I didn't do it. I put a lot of pepper. I put garlic, and I swear I just put a dash of salt and a little bit of honey. And I haven't ate nothing fleshly since that. So in the last 10 days, the only thing I ate was that. But I just been drinking. I've been just drinking in oatmeal. Rolled oats though, not the sugary kind. I got some rolled oats up there and some raisins and cranberries, and I just put raisins, cranberries, honey, and so it's either been smoothies or oatmeal, other than the tuna fish for the last 10 days. It'll be 2 weeks Monday. I think Monday it'll be 2 weeks. Monday or Tuesday it'll be 2 weeks. No adrenochrome. Yeah, man. I try to yeah, I'm straight though. I'm straight. I'm probably gonna just keep doing it, and then maybe like cause I want some salmon bad. I want some salmon. Then I'm probably gonna have some salmon and some what's the name? Like when I reach the 2 weeks on the 2 week march, I think it's Tuesday, it'll be 2 weeks. I'm gonna have some salmon and some asparagus. I'm gonna have some asparagus and some salmon. And then I'm gonna go right back on it, y'all. I'm gonna do it for a whole nother 2 weeks. And then when that 2 weeks come, I'm gonna have some kind of fish. Some kind of fish, but I'm not eating no red meat though. And I think I'm done with chicken. Like I'm done with chicken. I'm done with chicken. I haven't ate a chicken patty in 6 months, and I used to love chicken patties, but they're just too chewy. They can't fool me with the chicken patty. You might can fool me with the red meat. You might can fool me with the drumsticks, but the chicken patty is too blatant that's not chicken. It's too blatant. That shit is too chewy. The chicken is too chewy, man. I'm not fooled no more. Like the veil's been lifted. That shit ain't real. That shit ain't nothing. That is not food. Not just the chicken breast too. Like not just the chicken breast. I'm talking about the actual bone chicken breast. I love a part of the chicken was my favorite. I like wings, but outside of wings, I was a chicken breast person. I used to like a dry chicken breast. Don't ask me why, but I used to like chicken breast. These chicken breasts ain't chicken breasting no more. I done chewed chicken breasts so much that I had to spit it out because I felt like I chewed it too much and it ain't breaking down. The chicken breast is not chicken breast. So chicken breast and chicken patties, I used to love like the whites of the chicken. That shit ain't chicken, y'all. I don't care what they say. I'm African American. I've been eating chicken my whole life. That ain't chicken. I don't know what they doing. I don't know what they doing. It's too chewy. It's too chewy, man. Yeah, different sources. Yeah, I got protein shakes. I got some protein shakes in there. I got a bunch of peanuts. I got peanuts in there. And somebody in the chat told me beans the other day. That's what I didn't get. I'm gonna go get a whole bunch of beans, but I'm gonna get the bag beans. I'm gonna get canned beans too. And that's another thing, y'all. I don't like to be a super conspiracy theorist, but stock up on canned goods, man, because you never know. Stock up on canned goods, man. Buy all the canned goods you could buy. Buy them and just hold them. You never know. You never know. Buy up all the canned goods you could buy. Just worst case scenario. Especially if you got children. You know what I'm saying? If you got some real money, get you some military rations. But because you never know. I don't know. I don't really get into it. I try not to be on no doomsday because I don't like to perpetuate or propagate, fear and nothing like that. But I don't think we got much longer, man. I'm being honest. It's getting kind of low. It's getting weird down here. You know what I'm saying? So buy all the canned goods you could buy and get into the habit of not eating to live, not living to eat and eating to live, because you don't have to eat that much. Start training yourselves and your children if you have little ones, you know what I'm saying? In your home that you're responsible for. You know what I'm saying? You got a garden? Wow, that's a garden, man. Man, if you I don't know if you know how to if you got a garden, I don't know if you know how to program, how you know how to make holy water or spirit water. Man, you talk to that water. When you water your garden, talk to the water. I'm telling you, if you don't believe you can walk through the water, and you ain't gonna believe you could talk to the water and program the water, you're not gonna believe that the water is consciousness. But you talk to that water and speak love and light into that water. When you water your plants, get you some glass stuff. Whatever you water it with, well, you got a hose probably. But I would take a glass. You know, in Walmart, they got them big glass pitchers. Get you a glass pitcher and take you a mark and put love on that water. Put love on it. Put love on that glass and tape it to it. Put love on it and talk love into that water and water your gardens with that. Nutrients, love, light, healing. Talk to the water. Ask, Mother, Father, Most High, all in all, that there is, was, and ever will be. I ask that you program this water. You take all the natural entities and energies out of this water and restore this water back to its natural consciousness, its life-giving consciousness, its baptism consciousness, its holy water consciousness, its nurturing, love, light, giving, and healing consciousness. So it purges and purifies everything that it touches. Talk to the water, program it. Tell the water you love it, and then water your plants. Watch how your plants act then. Because now, not only do they grow bigger, not only do they grow better, but they're filled with love and light. Right? So if a tomato takes away mucus, it's going to take away double the amount of mucus. If basil takes away stomach, whatever they program, because you know all these fruits have different properties and healing properties, it's going to double and heighten the healing property, because the water that you're programming is going to program the fruit, because that fruit and that love and light that's in the water is going to go into the fruit, and the fruit, when your family eat it and consume it, is going to go into their bodies as you're sending love and light and healing into your body as well. These is alchemical things they don't teach us, y'all. They don't teach us this. They don't teach us this. Inshallah. Yeah, thank the water. Thank it. Yeah, thank the water. Inshallah. Thank the water. Tell the water you thank it and you appreciate it, because the water made a conscious decision to be here for us. Water is alive and it's conscious. It made a conscious decision to be here, just like the trees made a conscious decision to be here. They made a conscious decision to be here for us. So let them know that you see them. Let them know that you acknowledge them. Let them know. Let them know. Trust me. Trust me. Let them know. You know why? Because if everything's shut down and the lights don't come on, and you praising this ground and you praising that tree, when the soldiers walk by, they might not see your house. The tree might make it so that they might. These trees are powerful. The tree might make it so they pass right on by your house. There's nothing to see here. They'll look right at your house like in Star Wars and say, "There's nothing to see here." They'll walk right by you. It's more powerful than the AR-15, y'all. Y'all buying up all these guns just in case something happen. Imagine you start programming and hugging and loving the trees around you and watering the ground around you and grounding and sitting on the ground and praying and meditating and having time with nature around your home. Imagine if you start doing that. You wouldn't need an AR-15. You wouldn't need it. You wouldn't need it. You wouldn't even open up the door to that type of energy by even bringing that assault rifle in your home. You wouldn't even need it. We are the opposite of plants, more like mushrooms. We provide the carbon monoxide for the trees. Yeah, it's an ecosystem of giving and taking. It's an ecosystem. It's an ecosystem. But they came here, they chose to be here. We chose to be here too, but we came here to have fun. Trees came here to produce and to help us. So did the water, the rocks, the crystals, Mother Earth. I ain't even get into the crystal aspect yet, but there's a lot of things like my brothers who enlightened me. They told me to be careful of a lot of things, not to say a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So as we here, we growing together. We might, when I find, my soul group or whatever the case may be, then we'll move it to like a Zoom class or something like that. And not on YouTube, something where they're not monetizing. You know what I mean? Whenever you monetizing and you doing things with financial constraints and restraints, then they're gonna, you know what I mean? Everything ain't for everybody, y'all. When we have those chats, everybody in the chats is gonna be in agreement and gonna be in the same, on the same vibrating, the same high. We're gonna be the same soul group, the children of Israel, or the chosen ones. And I'm saying the children of Israel, don't think that I'm on no dogmatic thing. I'm saying a soul group. Those who emanated from the all in all, who want to get back to the all in all. You know what I'm saying? Then we won't have certain people or certain entities and energies attached to this live listening just to come in and to interrupt what we got going on, y'all. I'm being real. If what I was saying, if I didn't feel what I was saying was real, then I'd be up here just spewing information. Cause I see some of these brothers and they be going deep, and I'd be like, if you believe what you say, how you think you're gonna be able to just be saying that on YouTube? And you could say a lot of things, but there's some things, there's some things they ain't gonna let you say, y'all. I'm being honest, for real, for real. It all goes to waste if your partner's eating good. Oh man. Kung Fu Joe, man, you ain't say nothing wrong. And that's what I'm going through now. You ain't said nothing wrong. That ain't nothing but the universe, y'all. That ain't nothing but the universe. Because I thought about that. He says something that ain't, he says something that's right and exact. In the last, I don't want to get too graphic, but in the last 2 weeks, I almost went 2 weeks without having relations with a female, and I did that, and I swear, and then ain't nothing but the all in all speaking through Kung Fu Joe, because I thought of the same thing. After I had relations with the person, I'm like, I'm sitting here and cleansing myself, and I know this person eating everything they ain't got no business eating. I know they still being attacked by the spirits they being attacked with. She only believe half the shit I say, and I've been telling myself that I shouldn't have, but I got weak. So I might as well went and go eat a pork chop. No disrespect to her. But I'm being for real, and that ain't nothing but the universe sending him to tell me that, which I already knew that, but it's just confirmation. It's me speaking to me, like me speaking to y'all. It's you speaking back to you. And Kung Fu Joe just said something that was real, because I just experienced that in less than 48 hours. I swear, and I was saying to myself, like, you just did all this fasting, praying, and meditating, you eating right, and then you chose to do that, and you know she ain't really ready, when something told me to just fast from her as well and try to get her on the same track if we're gonna do what we're doing, if she's gonna be a part of what I'm doing. And I got weak, and he's right. You ain't said nothing wrong. And I could be real enough to admit that that is exactly what I just went through. And I was sitting here thinking that not thinking it in this present moment, but since it happened, I promise you, because I was gonna go on a no fast and don't eat nothing today to help cleanse myself from what I just did sexually. You can't make this up. Can't make this up, y'all. Can't make it up. Pork chops are good. They are, but it's not good for you. It's not good for you. It is, but it ain't good for you though. You know what I'm saying? And I went 27 years without eating pork. But you mean it's, man, a pork ain't nothing like a pork chop and bacon. That's all I missed from the pig is pork chop and bacon. That's all I missed. Anything else I could have went without. But pork chops and bacon, oh, and Benin, if you know any Hispanics, Puerto Ricans, Benin, oh man, Benin too. Benin, come on, you got me backsliding, man. I'm trying to stay away. I'm trying to stay away. Was I in the Bad Boys for Life video? Nah. 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 Right. Test your relationship. You gotta be, it's a cohesion, y'all. You gotta find your kindred spirit. You gotta find people who are vibrating like you're vibrating. And you know, the woman I deal with, she's a beautiful soul. She's a chosen one. She's an empath. She's beautiful, but she just, it's like the Matrix, y'all. You know, some people don't want to come out. Some people don't want to come out. And that don't mean they're not a good person. That don't mean that they a chosen one. But if they're not going to activate their higher selves and vibrate higher, there's nothing you can really do. You know how they say you'll drown before you can save a person that don't want to swim. You know what I'm saying? You'll drown before you try to save a person that can't swim. And I'm human, so I attach myself to people. It's hard for me to disattach myself from people, especially if they don't mean me no harm, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they don't mean me no harm, if that makes any sense. Especially when you were not vibrating at a certain vibration, and then you fall in love with somebody, and then in the process of that, you start finding yourself coming back to your right mind. And then as you coming back to your right mind, you start realizing that person is not vibrating high. And it's not that they're not a good person, but like the brother said, your attacks are going to come through your mate. If they're not eating clean or eating right, you're going to filthy. It's not saying they're filthy, but as far as spiritually, energetically, you're going to give too much of your energy up. And they just want to eat pork chops and sleep and sleep all day and be up all night and listen to Summer Walker and sip wine and allow the spirit of misery and death and regret and fear and all that shit to pile up on them. You know what I'm saying? So it's a slippery slope, y'all down here being human, man. For real. It's a slippery slope. We down here being human, man. That she could be happy to have you maybe when she is see the outcome. Hopefully, because I've been in this situation a few times, and I can't blame none of the women because they're beautiful women. I blame myself, right? Because now that I'm not robbing, shooting up blocks or gang banging, selling drugs, since I've been out of that now, my weakness was food and relationships, falling in love, because I fall in love easy, because I love everybody. So it's easy for me to fall in love, and it's easy to fall in love with me, right? So now that I'm not doing wrong, the other wrong is what I put into my body, the food and sometimes romantic relationships. You know what I'm saying? And so I can't blame them. If I was vibrating high when I got out of prison 3 years ago, I would have never got with a woman. I would have just stayed praying, meditating, and wait till the universe send me my kind. And they are my kind. They just not ready, if that makes any sense. They just weren't ready. But guess what? I wasn't ready. Because if I was ready, I would have never gotten in those relationships. You know what I'm saying? So I don't blame them. I blame me because I know better. And I'm going to be held twice accountable. And this is why I don't be preaching and teaching to my family, because one, I know they're not ready. And two, the first thing they're going to do is judge me off of who they know me to be. And granted, I'm not the person that I used to be, but I'm still eating wrong and I'm still having these romantic relationships. Although this is the first time I've been disloyal, not disloyal, like disloyal, this loyal, meaning not, sleeping with another woman. This is the first time in my life I've been monogamous for this long. The first time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not just out and about like I used to be. And it is an easy thing to do. But because I know how I'm vibrating, and I know what's going on down here, I'm able to duck and dodge more. Because when you pray and meditate, that's when the girl you really like get in your inbox. When you praying, fasting, and meditating, that's when the girl, your type just so happens to bump into you on your way out the grocery store and flirts with you. When nobody don't never be flirting with you. But here you was fasting and meditating, and on the third day of your fasting, your meditation, here they come trying to test you, trying to get you to cheat on the person you with. And even though you're not married, you basically have a covenant with that person. You know what I mean? That covenant says like, yo, we together and I'm not gonna cheat on you, right? Even though we coming from a state of a controlling love or a regular human love. I don't believe humans are meant to love that way, but that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? But I'm at work, y'all. I by no means pretend to be no guru, no super guru or no super shaman. I'm just you talking back to you. I'm still in a fight every day, all day. And I call on Yahshua, Yahweh, Jesus the Christ, and to purge me and cleanse my mind, body, and soul and send me what I'm down here for. I pray for her. I pray for all of them. I pray for everybody and myself. Yeah, of distractions is it's always going to be distractions. Always. The higher you vibrate, the more distractions is going to be. But what happens is the distractions begin to change. The higher you vibrate, when you vibrating low, trying to get up a little bit, the distractions is bad. Well, they all bad, but I'm talking about bad as far as nothing going right. When you vibrate higher and you get here, the distractions become different. The distractions now is the things you think you wanted, or the things you wanted before you started vibrating high, like money or the prettiest girl in the world. You know what I'm saying? Or notoriety, because sometimes people want to I've been a leader my whole life. So sometimes people want to follow you, or they'll be like, yo, I'm willing to do this. And you feed your ego and do something that you ain't got no business doing, because it don't have nothing to do with your evolution, with your spirit evolution. It'd be like a physical evolution or a financial evolution. You know what I'm saying? Or pride and ego evolution. It goes against the spirit. So you have to have discernment and be like, nah, I'm cool. I'm all right. I'll wait. I'll continue on. You know what I'm saying? I've been getting offers for other people to come on other channels. They want to hear about murder, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go over there. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I got up here. So being that I got on here on those type of terms, I don't want to stay there. Because it's more to me than the street stuff. It's more to me than the Dipset, the rap stuff. It's more to me than the gang leader. There's more to me than the drug dealer. There's more to me than the 17 homicides. There's more to me than that. That was a phase. It was a part of the journey. I don't want to stay there. You know what I mean? And they'll try to keep you there. So I got people, oh, come on this one show. And it's world-renowned podcasters, or they want you to come over here. Nah, I'm going to stay over here because I went from 5,000 to 40,000 views in a couple weeks. So I'm going to stay over here with my con. I don't want to go over there. Because if I go over there, they're going to ask me questions and force me to say things that I already addressed. Anybody on my live could go back to the old beginning lives and they'll see, okay, oh, that's who he is. If you just started listening to me the last 2 days, I mention it here and there so you won't be surprised so you could go back. But to go sit on somebody's platform and to go all the way back to all of that, I don't want to do that. I don't care what they offering me. Because if the object is money, I'm going to get it by staying vibrating high. If the object is views and followers and all of that, I'm going to get that vibrating high. But I'm not here for a whole bunch of views and followers. I'm not here for that. I'm here for my kind. Yeah, I want views and followers in YouTube's terms, because it's like if you get 50,000 followers, right, then that means you can have 10 people who are from the same monad as you. You can find 10 people who is from your soul group out of 50. Yeah, I know y'all like 50,000, only 10. Yeah, you might only get 10 out of 50,000. So that's why I want 50,000, because I know I'm going to find the 10 that I need. I know I'm going to find my kind amongst 50,000, but if I only got 2,000, it might only be 1 or 2. And that's all you probably need anyway. I'm just making an example as far as the more the merrier goes. But if you're reaching thousands of people, everybody might not be ready, but it's already in their spirit, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I've heard things when I wasn't ready, but it was already in my it was absorbed it on a subconscious soul level. It was ready for me. It was there. So when I came up to speed, it was already, oh, okay. That's why I learned this. Because it's a process, y'all. Nothing don't just fall in your lap. It's a process. Sometimes you got to look back. Somebody tell you something or something happened, and then you might have to go back 20 years. Like, oh, okay, now I see. That's why this happens. Or somebody will give you an analogy or tell you something, and then you can relate to it from before. So if I have 50,000 people that I could speak to their soul or their subconscious or their subconscious soul level, then so be it. I want to reach a lot of people that way. But I don't want to go over there to somebody who got 300,000 subscribers and all of their videos do 100,000 or whatever, because those people ain't going to hear what I got to say anyway. They clocked into, like, when the guy put up that I was a serial killer. That's not my group. That's not my crowd. That's why as soon as he turned on the thing, he was like, I said, I'm not a serial killer, bro. I did not unalive 17 people, bro. You know what I mean? And then when I got off, my boy was like, yo, you supposed to roll it out, stuck with it. That's how you going to get people to come to your channel. That's how you going to get the flow. That's not what I'm looking for, homie. That's not what I'm looking for. My pops told me some shit 15 years ago, and I'm feeling it now. That's what happens. That's what happens. That's the soul they sell to have mass appeal. That's groove, man. That's a good song. Oh, I already know why you here. What's it, Scott? I already know why you here. I already know what you vibrating on. You remember that guru lyric. I already know who you is, brother. Welcome. I'm just reminding you. That's all I'm doing. I'm just reminding you. I already know. You listen to Guru. I already know. I'm just reminding you. That's all I'm doing, man. That's all I'm doing, bro. That's it. That's all. But I'm about to get off of here. I already told myself when it dropped a certain amount of people, I was gonna go do some other stuff. I might come back on here tonight at like 12, y'all. I might come back on like around 11, 12. If y'all up, I'm not saying to be up, but around 11, 10, 11, 12 tonight, I might come back on here, y'all. I appreciate y'all. If y'all ain't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I think I'm gonna do the water thing tonight, but I'm probably not, because I gotta do a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, nah, I'm probably not. I'm probably gonna do a regular live tonight. But I'll be back on here tonight, probably around 10. Yeah, 10. 10 is good. If you can be here, be here. If not, I'll probably still be here tomorrow at 12 too. I'm gonna probably come on every day at 12 and probably every night just to see which one. Cause I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna do the daytime or the nighttime. But I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for being here with me. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace, love, and light. Do your best to vibrate high. Hopefully something I said resonate within your spirit. This is what I'm here to do, y'all. Just remind you of you, y'all. That's it. It's free to be me. You got to spin the pretend. Peace, love, and light, y'all.